This episode of Speakers of Hydaelyn is made possible by our generous patrons, like Scry de la Rosa, Omega Cat Comet, Sarai Cypher, Hans Grenade, Anna Ginteres, Lilium Tenebrae, Faris Gentoru, Cletus Oreo, Lucliana Trell, Sapa Chakwatol, Courtney, Mainly Algrim, Ariana Barakil, Elim, Casey Schaefer, Lily Black, Chaitan, Cheshire Soltiri, Ariel, Erisu Yamakawa, Cecilia Lirafu, Dimos, Jamie Assure, Fafa Mai Kokomai, Asuta Starbreeze, Umbral Wind, and Quick Levin. Support the show and become a patron today at patreon.com/SpeakersXIV. Thank you.
This is Speakers of Hydaelyn.
For the month at least.
Good evening, AR students. Welcome to Speakers of Hydaelyn, episode 129. I'm Lakeel Bravestone, and I'm joined today by none other than Rollo Des and Melavan Adar.
In some sort of like trance. I don't know what's going on there, Rollo.
What? My legs hurt. Shut up. Leave me alone.
No, like the blur.
Oh yeah, I turned on the Skype board to see how it would work. It looks kind of weird.
It's so like, oh my gosh.
A little bit. What if I turn it off?
Okay.
That's yeah.
I kind of liked it with the blur in the background. It looks like you're like in.
Yeah, but it leaks onto his face.
It does leak onto your face.
What if I I think if I back up a bit, it's a bit better.
Yeah. Your hands are blurry.
Your hands are blurry. Can we not just... To our audio listeners, this makes no sense.
My blurry hands!
Rollo has a feature on his webcam that blurs out the background. Okay, moving on. Welcome, everyone. Today's main topics, of course, or actually main topic, is FanFest in Paris. And we are going to talk about the keynote and the live letter and the Q&A. So strap in, boyos. But before that... we are going to talk about the Valentione's quest. Also, we'll try to see if we can read some Mog Mail. There's a lot of Mog Mail again. Like, there's So have to get through that as well. We don't know. I don't know if we'll have time. But let's talk about the Valentine's Day event. It was. We already went into this with like some confusion because of the rewards. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a bit. But let's talk about the story, which isn't... well...
It's not very in-depth.
It's not very in-depth, but there is some weird... That blurring effect does not like the bottle behind you. I think it wants the bottle to be part of you.
Everyone admire the bottle or...
Yeah.
Sorry, audio listeners.
Listeners. Anyways, the quest has like this couple, but they're actually the same gender. So there's that, but they've made it very platonic.
Even though
they're just friends, Lucio.
Yeah.
Even though it's not platonic in other languages.
Right. So the English language is censored. The same thing they did with Horsefont.
That's a shame.
Yeah, that is a shame.
Right.
Other than that, the quest isn't really that interesting. It's just the House Valentione spreading of love stuff that we've known from the other events. And the actual quest has you going back to that labyrinth from last year's Valentione's Day event.
Yeah.
There's a lot happening in Rollo Des Square.
I was moving the camera a bit.
Sounds like a book. A lot is happening in Rollo Des Square.
Yeah, my new children's book, actually. Yeah. Come check it out.
What do you think about, how do you guys feel about the fact that they're using that dungeon again?
I suppose it's nice to see it back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's nice that it has a duty finder now. I don't think it did last time.
I don't think it did.
I got matched it with some monk, and he was awful. He's
imagine
but we still got kindred spirits.
Imagine going on a date with a monk.
I know.
Yeah, it's like
I kept calling him Valentine, and he wasn't responding.
No commitments for me. No,
yeah,
I'm already committed to. It's difficult to do.
I had to do the card thing by myself and just instruct him which ones to click.
Yeah. I can
just cheat. Just take a screenshot when the cards come up and reference that. Just cheat. It's fine. It's for love. Cheat for love.
Okay. But there's more, because you can also do the additional side quest to get the. What do you get? You get chocolates from that, right?
You get it rewards the little chocolates, which is currency for 2 food items and the stuffed mammoth.
Yes. And then you can do the optional one where you'd go. So from the dungeon you get the chocolates, but if you do the additional one where you go to the fortune teller, you only get the prisms from that. Oh, I forgot to turn that off. Thank you. It's not working. There we go. If you do the other one, you can go to the fortune tellers and they'll give you that weird prediction thing. There is, however, so here's where things get a little weird and a little 1.0, if I may say so. We all knew that there were going to be 2 additional event items, but the quest didn't really give them to you. You can buy them. It turns out that there's a 4th fortune teller that won't give you a prediction. You can do a small talk and she'll do a reading, and she'll like say some ominous stuff, probably hinting at something to come in Shadowbringers or whatever. She's like hinting at events that will unfold. Yeah. Very vague.
She talks about the gremlin too, even from the trailer.
Yeah. But she also says that she sells this elixir that you cannot use, which is odd. And then she says, like, maybe she says something vague about an imp near Blackboar Gate. Mm-hmm. And if you need to buy 2 elixirs, and then you have to go to this very random spot near Blackboar Gate, like it's in like at a building, and you exchange elixir for the sword and the Tonberry knife.
Mm-hmm.
That is the most. Yeah, go on.
She's pitching it like snake oil too. It's like, hey, buy this fucking potion, all your problems will be solved.
Yeah,
I had limited stock, cheap just for you.
Yeah,
and it's like, oh,
it's very odd. It's a very like 1.0. It reminds me of the fucking seasonal bells from 1.0, where they're like, we don't know what to do. We'll put just some bells. They'll ring that, and they'll get a reward, a twig and some sugar.
Explain the bells to people. Is it like, did you literally just ring bells in an area and then that was it?
In 1.0, the first year of seasonal events was they just put like a little stand with like 5 bells, and there would be like a chair dude standing next to it, and you talk to them, they'll be like, if you ring this bell, you can get a reward. And then you rang the bell once a day, and you would get like, again, for fucking, I think for Valentione's day, or maybe it was Little Lady's Day, you literally got a stick, like a fucking twig, an item that you can't use. It was used for crafting, and some sugar.
That's nice.
Whatever 1.0 player wanted at the time,
Mickey Mouse was. They had a deal with Disney back then. It was actually a Kingdom Hearts crossover. Mm-hmm. You would ring the Mickey bells, as they say. But yeah, it's weird because it doesn't really fit anywhere. I don't understand why they did it like this. Like, why even put these items in?
They're just items that
it's
are
fine
reused for NPCs.
It's fine. I mean, it's cool.
But this is like stuff you get the gold saucer,
Yeah, maybe they just wanted to give it out for like semi-free. I think the elixir was like 1,000 gil or whatever. But
I don't really like any of the items.
Even the pricing for the elixir was like, wow, this is like 1.0 pricing, because everything cost like thousands of gil back then. It was weird. It was just weird, but it's there. Now, that's a PSA for you guys. If you want the sword and thing, just buy 2 of the elixirs, run over to Blackboar Gate. There's like you'll see a cluster of people around him probably. And then
you'll get a not good Dark Knight sword and a knife you'll never see.
Yeah, the knife you'll never see is the most pointless one. It doesn't even have stats. Why would you use that as a culinary?
I didn't even know you could glamour.
No, I thought you couldn't.
the sub weapons for
I don't
Culinarian,
think you can.
or-
You can't even try them on. So
No, you can't.
Can you? I've never tried it. I don't know.
You
if you
can't
can
try them
do
on
it.
because you don't. They're not an item, really. They're not.
Oh, you can
I
glam
thought
it
you can.
apparently.
You can.
Although it is very pointless because you'll
Yeah.
only see it when you do crafts. I guess it gives more depth. Like if
And
you're
not
like,
every craft either.
no, it's not. Only when you use your secondary.
primary.
Only when you need to do chopping.
Yeah,
Rubbish.
That's fine.
It's fine. It gives for those that like that. It's there, and it's not even a part of the main quest, so we can't really complain. You don't.
And you
Yeah.
can't. You don't know how to find it really, unless
Yeah.
you just go around talking to people randomly.
Yeah.
Weird.
So overall, what do you think about this year's quest? I feel like it was better last year. Just to throw my opinion out there, because the dungeon was new. The fortune tellers have been there for a while now. Compared to like the last year, it's like wow. I don't think it stood out as much. I even forgot that it had started.
I mean, I don't really expect a lot for events like this, honestly. Holiday events and all that. Because, like, at most, or like my ideal like baseline would be like, give me a piece of apparel, maybe
Yeah.
a little bit of food to place in the house, and a poster, maybe. But this didn't even really reach that. And also, the story was I didn't like the platonic thing.
No, it was very clearly they rewritten weirdly if you compare it to the other language, because I've read about the other languages where it's less platonic. Yeah, it's weird, but I just want to say that I think it's hard to top last year, because last year they gave us every single event almost, except for New Year's as usual, had like something new. But now we're going into Shadowbringers, and I don't think, because if you, from the signals that they gave us during the keynote and live letter, it's very clear that they are now only working on Shadowbringers mostly, and they're not really going to go back and fix stuff for Stormblood yet. So we are probably going to see that for the next event as well, which should be, is that Little Ladies Day? That's spring, right?
Yeah. Well, the Songbirds broke up too, so
yeah, we might just get a generic one this year.
Or did they broke up? They said that'd be the last time we'd see them, something like that, right?
I think they canned that one.
Yeah.
It was really ominous when they left all of a sudden.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Hatching Tide. We might get Little Ladies Day and Hatching Tide before Shadowbringers. Those
was
are probably
actually
gonna be the last
the songs were actually Elidibus.
Yeah.
That's the twist.
The other dude and the other.
Oh yeah,
dude.
remember we had that really dark storyline with the dead kid.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah.
They just, I think, didn't we just speculate that that's like the next, that's how Little Ladies Day is going to be now after, because now the Songbirds are over. Now we're going to
About
focus.
dead little girls?
Yeah, but isn't that what Little Ladies Day is almost, I can't remember what the lore behind Little Ladies Day is. No, she was locked up in a town. I can't remember anymore.
With the Sultana at the time wanted to get out, or so princess, the guard, and then she snuck out or something.
Yeah.
That was it, right?
Yeah. It was. It's still like, I don't know, whatever.
Events aren't a really big deal.
It's not about a dead little girl. That's not what I'm saying. But the spirit, the spirit is that every girl is a princess, isn't it? Isn't that what it is?
Yeah,
everyone.
that's what it is.
Yeah.
Everyone has their own little guard, whatever.
Was it did the Seneschal kill her? Oh, there you go. I knew there was some dark shit behind this. Right?
Yeah.
That one was particularly dark.
Yeah, because the Sultan had protected his daughter for so long, and when she finally broke out during the Royal Seneschal event, whatever they called it, I think they didn't call it Little Ladies Day then, and then someone killed her.
It was not the princess or Sultan at the time, right? This was just another girl that it happened to.
Yeah, I can't remember. There is a dark story there. And maybe that's what they wanted to focus on in the next ones. We'll see. That's a bit early to speculate about that now. What was I saying? Okay, yeah. So Valentione's quest. Mala, what do you think? Have you done? Yeah, you've done it.
Yeah, I did it yesterday. It was nice to see Astrid, and it's nice to see sort of a general progression between the years.
Yeah.
of sort of how House Valentione is sort of going.
Yeah.
But the quest was pretty god awful. There's nothing to it.
Yeah.
It just felt kind of forced. I didn't know about the other language thing, so I was just thinking.
If you think
it's
about
a really
that
weird
now,
friendship.
Yeah. When you think about that now, do you see how weird it is now? Like, why it's so pointless to like rewrite it? Why?
It's just
it almost ruins the story. That might be why it appears so weird for us.
It's
like,
like, it's fine.
Yeah, they don't even have to
Yeah.
like. It's not like in the other ones that like French kiss and like fuck near and the theater.
Yeah.
It's just more. Yeah, it's weird. You don't have to do that, Skremix.
Don't worry, we're not precious. That's
yeah.
it. It's okay.
Okay. So compared to last year, do you all agree that last year was better?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Moving on then. Let's talk about FanFest. It has happened. I believe it might be done. Is it done now? The concert is probably over.
Anyone at FanFest want to tell us right now?
I mean,
As of recording this, I'm sorry to
Yeah.
everyone on the VOD. Yeah, it should be done. If not yet, very soon.
Yeah.
The keynote started on Saturday. Early for us, late for Rollo.
Hey,
It was a good.
if you're a subscriber, watch the VOD so you can see me be really fucking tired. Up at 8 a.m. losing my mind
It was pretty good. Yeah.
twice.
Yeah. It was okay. So wait, what is happening in chat? I see some clarification on Valentione's Day.
No, it's all about Little Ladies' Day.
Oh, a little lady's day, sorry. The princess was found and the sultan realized his listen, the ordinance of that one holiday where the princess snuck up at the palace, the sultan panicked and ordered to turn every house upside down in order to find her. The princess was found and the sultan realized his mistake when they destroyed someone's house. Then he decided to dedicate a day for every little girl in Ulda. That rings a bell, actually. I also feel like we've read this story on the podcast before. Probably last year during Little Ladies' Day.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So the keynote, everyone been waiting for it. They showed the extended teaser trailer, which means the next one we're getting in Japan is going to be the actual just trailer. It had two new things in it. There was a scene with Yorianji and Y'shtola, and an extended scene with Thancred and Minfilia. So
wow, spoilers! Instant spoilers there.
I mean, if you guys,
it was. I mean, that's like what we're talking about. It's Thancred and the lion.
Okay, we'll get to it. We'll get to
God.
it.
We might as well not
it's
talk
so
about
normal now because we've talked about it so much. Okay, so the first one is Thancred. No, don't say it again. Y'shtola and Yorianji.
Well, I mean, you don't notice Urianji for quite a long time until you see his face because he's wearing a big girl's blouse.
Leave him alone.
He looks amazing.
He does pull it off somehow.
Yorianji can pull off pretty much anything. He can pull out a fucking bag. But the thing is, he addresses Y'shtola as Master Matoya.
Yeah.
Which is weird.
Because that's what we think it is, because it's from behind.
Yeah.
Although she doesn't look quite as big as Matoya, but yeah, it's from behind, and she's like Master Matoya, and it pans around to the face.
Yeah.
And she's got the hood on, but it's clearly a young woman.
Yeah. And then it turns out to be,
Y'shtola. Y'shtola.
She's a black mage now.
Our kitty. Woo.
Yeah.
She's cool now.
What has happened here? Also, Yorianji is an astrologer now. That's the thing, and
it looks like a golden choker.
Yeah, it looks like Y'shtola is a black mage.
Yeah,
so
Y'shtola
she a black mage.
Everything's wrong.
She put on loads of eyeliner and stuff.
Yeah, she stops at Hot Topic.
She's wearing like feather earrings, black feather earrings. So a lot of
started listening to the Smiths.
What do you think this means? What are your takes?
It's
on this?
weird.
Yeah.
I don't like this theory that we were talking about before, where it's like possession. I don't like that.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of hope it's not possession. Yeah.
Yeah, it just that's going to be too confusing for me. I don't know.
What else can it be though? It's like when we last left Y'shtola and Urianger, they were called.
They've been called.
And the thing is also is that Yoshi P later in the keynote confirmed that they're standing in like a fiery area, and
they're standing in the whatever
Raktika Greatwoods.
Raktika Greatwoods.
Yeah, that's where they were standing. So it's not like this is somewhere else, like because there's some shard hopping theories going around.
It's not
as well.
Somewhere else, but it could be sometime else because he did say, well, that's in the game, but it's burnt down in the screenshot. So when does this take place in the trailer?
Yeah, that's true. Is this like some advanced echo, perhaps?
Maybe it's like a future past thing where it's like they're in the future in the bad timeline, but we're in the past and where it hasn't happened yet. Because the Urianger talks about like, oh, this is our fate, but fate can be rewritten. They choose or accept it. So maybe it's something like that.
Yeah.
I feel like this game might be going down like just some next level confusing.
We're going
time
on
travel.
some fucking Doctor Who rabbit hole. It is weird that he is specifically calling Y'shtola Master Matoya. That is the biggest detail here. Why the fuck is he calling Y'shtola Master Matoya? And then Y'shtola speaks, and she kind of talks like Matoya.
In a way, yeah.
No, I don't. She's always talked like that.
Yeah, but Matoya talks like that too. He does call her Matoya, and then she talks like that. I don't know. There's something weird here.
I'm just hoping that it's not true because we're finally starting to get some like character from Y'shtola.
Her staff too, by the way, looks like Matoya's.
Yeah,
it's not the same, I believe, but it's like the same style. Also, the fact that she switched to Black Mage, which I'm assuming Matoya is too.
But she did like train under Matoya. She was adopted by Matoya, so it could be in the past, quite far in the past, potentially. And at that point, Urianger just
Mikote.
No, it is Y'shtola. But it's early on in the days when Urianger's like just met her or something. So he says Master Matoya because she's training under her. They're like adopted.
Or maybe Master Matoya is like off screen.
Oh god, that's a theory.
And for some reason, you still responded.
Yeah,
and she's wearing her clothes.
Yeah.
So Matoya's like naked off screen.
Yeah. It could be. I don't know. She also says until our friend returns.
Probably us.
I think
probably
that's
referring to us.
Have we been called?
That's the question, isn't it?
Do you think?
I mean, we keep getting the messages and we haven't like gotten knocked out just yet, but who's to say it won't happen in part 2?
Yeah.
This is gonna be just.
It's very confusing. The Matoya part has thrown me off so much. The fact that he calls her Master Matoya. You don't call.
Yoshi P doesn't even say anything about it. He's like, oh, that was cool.
Yeah. So yeah. Oh yeah, that's also true. Y'shtola, if this is in the past, Y'shtola was never a black mage.
That's true, yeah.
She's been learned in white magic. She's not a black magic user. So that too throws a wrench in the works here. I don't understand. I don't get it.
But if Matoya's gonna possess Y'shtola, what happens to Matoya?
Yeah, what happens to her body?
And what happens to Y'shtola's like soul, which isn't in there anymore?
I mean, I guess if they still haven't like found it yet, she could just like
she can go back.
It.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Or maybe it'll be like Genbu. Or not is it Genbu?
Yeah, Genbu.
Genbu, where it's both Y'shtola and Matoya in the same body.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Also, important to note again, they are not active in the game right now. They're comatose. Their soul is not in their body, and there's only one story patch left before Shadowbringers. So either they wake up in the next patch and all of this makes more sense, or something else has happened. Also, we don't know if Raktika Greatwood is even in our shard. Just when it's in the source, we don't even know that. So
Well, no, but that's where the Viera are, aren't they? And that's like.
You're right. That's true. But they could be Viera on a different shard too.
They could be.
What if the Viera are only from a different shard? that complicates a Return to Evil.
No, it doesn't make any sense.
We go to their homeland in Return to Evil.
Yeah, it's true. Right. We move on then.
Okay.
We can't really. There's hard to theorize. My only theory is that Matoya is somehow possessing or has fused with Y'shtola, which makes me wonder if the same has happened to Urianger.
Well, he still speaks like Urianger.
He does.
So I think that's just him.
He does.
Yeah, but he's been called.
Yeah, he has been called. So what has happened?
They've all been called.
Yes.
Matoya hasn't.
What?
Matoya hasn't been called.
Matoya has not been called.
Well,
which
not
is how
Matoya.
there can be some credence to the Matoya Y'shtola thing, but who's in Urianger?
Yeah. And then who would be in Thancred's body?
What if
That's
it's
Thancred.
What if it's fucking Midgard's Ormer? Because he's also in a slumber. He might have woken up because of this.
Bring back Mitty. I miss him.
Yeah.
Wake him up.
He speaks like Urianger. Urianger speaks like a dragon.
Don't start saying stuff like that, because that's gonna like lead to weird theories. Like,
Maybe Urianger is one
born?
of the missing dragons that we haven't seen yet in the game.
Dude, oh god, what if it's Louis Soir? Louis Soir has taken residence in Urianger's body.
Oh my god.
Oh, it's like the biggest like fan service moment.
This isn't. We're not
we get to see Louis Soir and Matoya like save the world. Yes.
Yeah. Urianger has kind of a similar beard to Louis Soir as well.
Yeah. I don't think it matters what you look like for someone to take possession of your body, but still,
But I feel like
it would
want it to look a bit like him.
I agree. Yeah. You'd like feel his aura. He's got that big Louis Soir energy.
His big dick energy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can feel it from miles away.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's too early to, of course. We don't really have anything to go on, so who knows?
Yeah.
Another thing that happens in the trailer is that we get an extended sequence with Thancred and the lion thing in that building, which is driving me insane. But we can touch on that later.
We
but
don't need
we need to talk about it a little bit, because I did some thorough research today with Gangel today, and I think we'll get to it. The sequence shows Urianger actually attacking this creature. Did I say? What did I say?
Urianger.
I wish. Thancred.
That wouldn't work.
And it looks cool. Shows more of the gunblade class. He's putting like magic ammo in the thing.
He's tanking it.
Worryingly like machinist, but that's cool.
Yeah,
great class.
Yeah. The girl is revealed.
She hides behind a pillar. She looks up.
Blue eyes.
Big blue eyes.
Those
no
big old
pupils.
baby blues.
She didn't really have pupils. It's just like blue. They just sent like it's kind of scary. And he says,
cloudy blue. Yeah.
Yeah. And then he says, "I will not leave you, Minfilia."
They turned Minfilia into a little girl. She just grew up and filled out.
We called it though. To be fair, I think a lot of people did, but we did call it on this podcast that it had to be.
I remember we talked about that.
Yeah.
Then we went down a huge rabbit hole of like human vessels for Hydaelyn and Zodiac.
And that also makes sense now, because last time we saw Minfilia, she was like Hydaelyn was very weak, remember? She was very weak.
Yeah.
And Minfilia couldn't leave because Hydaelyn needed help. She needed her.
Yeah.
And she sort of became, I guess, in the end, became sort of like a vessel. It feels like the world is now in such imbalance that I think Hydaelyn sort of rebirthed Minfilia as a
popped out of Minfilia
baby, and she's hiding inside her, which is why her eyes are so weird. And then
why a baby?
And then Thancred is protecting her.
I guess.
The question is, who is he protecting her from? If she's holding literally the Mother of Light.
And we are becoming the Warriors of Darkness.
I mean, I think literally everybody will want to get their hands on her.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
so we're gonna try and kill Thancred.
I get to have God.
Yeah. What if we are trying to kill Minfilia?
It's possible.
there's some other theories about this, because again, Thancred was also cold. He was the first to be cold, right? So here is one of the theories. Yeah, go on.
When we last saw Minfilia, she was shepherding the Warriors of Darkness back.
Yes,
and it's his voice.
Yeah,
so she could be with them.
Exactly. So a lot of people have now started to speculate, and I'm sort of leaning with them, that this might happen on a different shard.
God.
It would make sense for Hydaelyn to hide herself inside Minfilia and then ship her off to one of the other shards where we couldn't find her, right?
You think maybe that's why she's like calling people to like help her?
Maybe. That's what Arbear is trying to... If it is him, though. We don't know if it's him that's calling us. But that was one of the working theories, that we're on the Warrior of Darkness's shard, which is why creatures of light are attacking him, right? Because things are, opposite there.
Makes a lot of sense, actually.
Yeah, it does. It also, again, helps with what he says when he enters this structure. He says, "This town sure has changed." Because he's seeing it from a different shard where things have happened differently.
Almost in the future, because theirs is a world where Hydaelyn already won.
Yeah.
So that's what will happen if they continue down the same path.
Yeah.
Twin calamities only you can forestall.
Yeah.
The first one is what happened in their world, and then the second will be what's happening in our... Oh my God.
Yeah, it sort of makes... the dots are connecting here.
Could be it.
It could be it. And also, because Thancred was the first to be called, he was the first, he's had time to, acquaint himself.
He knows what's going on.
Yeah. So, it kind of... And he would be the first one to find Minfilia, which is why they're together.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And then Minfilia gave her, "I bequeath you a gunblade. Do some Devil May Cry shit for me."
Yeah.
Well, they have different classes in their world.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gunblades in our world. We're getting that in our world, too. But, yeah, maybe Gunblade is more widespread in that world than at that point.
Maybe
that's why he changed. So it is also I'm very intrigued by the possibility that they're running away from us.
I like that a lot.
Yeah, that's dark.
But are they running away from the Warriors of Darkness as well? Are we joining them, or?
That's a very good question, because surely they wouldn't want the Mother of Light in their world, because they
would want to kill her.
Fought so hard to get rid of it. Yeah,
it sounded like that things were going to be fixed though. Last time we talked to Warriors of Darkness, you remember, it's like, because Minfilia was with them too. It's like, "Oh, I'll help you out, motherfuckers. Here we go."
Yeah,
and they leave. And so it would.
I mean, again, it doesn't mean that we were trying to kill her. We might want to. I don't know. I just like the.
We want to restore balance.
Yeah. And
I wouldn't want to be that evil, but
we're not necessarily being evil. Is what I'm trying to get at here, because a lot of people think darkness is automatically evil. It's just one part of a spectrum. It's weird. I don't think we necessarily are trying to kill everything that's good in the world.
No. I mean,
that's not how Dark Knights operate, for instance, which is the only thing we really have to go off of, which is also the poster child for this expansion, mind you. They just go about it differently than a Warrior of Light would. This theory is helping me with my my lamp obsession, because I have tried to figure out where this building is, and nothing lines up with anything. But I'm almost 100% sure that if this is supposed to be a structure that makes sense in Eorzean architecture, it must be Laminson. The wrought iron detailing. There's the pattern that Maela showed me that almost resembles, if you look around in Limsa, there are wrought iron, that's how they decorated Limsa. It's typical Laminson. They're it's kind of ugly here. Let's just make a mold and just put some iron in there, and then we'll just bolt it on the wall. That's what they did. They would bolt on wrought iron detailing just to spice up a place, and it kind of resembles that. The lamps, of course, are Laminson. So this might be a different Vilbrand on a different shard.
Yeah,
that's all I can make out of that.
We definitely just need more info. Like, I feel like we just got a little bit more. We can be like, okay, we can see where things are going. But right now, I feel like we're like chickens with our head cut off right now, just running around trying to figure something out.
Yeah. It's annoying because it's that one big puzzle piece missing. We just need that one to put in place, and everything will make sense.
Yeah. We just need to know how we get from like where we are now to that trailer.
Yeah.
We need that missing.
Sense, right? It like seems so far in the future.
Yeah. Right. Did he actually give us a date for the next part? Yeah, he did. Part 2 is in late
February
March.
12th? Was it? Oh, sorry, part 2.
For this main scenario, yeah. That's late March.
Didn't he mention that it might be just before, or just after FanFest?
I would assume it's weird that that it would be after, because
I know, because then we've sort of spoiled it.
Yeah,
maybe. But
maybe okay. I don't know. It's after, so they'll just give us even more questions right before the patch, probably.
Yeah.
Okay. So moving on from the trailer, very interesting though.
Not a lot was added. It was still pretty big.
Yeah. And it ended, of course, on the release date for Shadowbringers, which is July 2nd, with an early access beginning on June 28th. So mark your calendars.
Pre-orders begin Wednesday, the 6th of February 2019.
Yes, and items
when it's on YouTube, that'll be in like 2 days' time.
Yeah,
I think.
I'll try to get it up by tomorrow.
Okay.
This one has to be up as soon as possible.
Yeah, that was right. Yeah. 2 days' time.
The pre-order items, which we'll get into, will be delivered to your character like in the March 3rd or 6th or whatever. It's gonna be. They're releasing that pretty quickly, because they involve some EXP earrings.
Yeah, very useful for catching up.
Yeah. Okay, so they showed off the new job. Yoshi P enters the stage wearing the outfit that Thancred is wearing in the trailer. The white coat and it looks really cool. That's really good, well made.
It was designed by a 14 cosplayer, wasn't it?
Was it? Really?
It? Yeah, apparently it was designed by like a popular 14 cosplayer.
Wow,
very impressive.
That's
cool.
Good on them.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me get their names so I can not be rude.
I would assume that they just did that with that was Square Enix.
Internally,
yeah.
Cheza Cosplay, is that it? Okay, hey, Cheza, that was very good outfit.
Shout out to Cheza Cosplay. That looked amazing.
Yeah. Especially with almost no info to go on.
Yeah.
They did the Xenos one from that last year.
The Xenos one.
The Xenos one was so good. Okay, cool.
Yeah, you're cool.
Yeah.
Contest.
Yeah. Right. So they revealed the name of the job. It's called Gunbreaker. What Yoshi P was wearing was a modified version of the artifact gear. That's Thancred's gear. Is unique in the color scheme for the most part. The original artifact gear is like a blue version of that, a dark blue.
Yeah, it is. That's good.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, both outfits look really cool.
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
Yeah. It is. It's a slashing tank. Unfortunately, for some, I know a lot of people wanted a different kind of tank.
Didn't they say they were going to change how that stuff works in the sense of like having slashing debuffs like not be an important thing anymore?
Did they?
Wasn't that like a battle change they won? I might have dreamt it or something like that. I feel like that was.
It does ring a bell in the far distance, a very tiny bell, the smallest like cheap dollar store bells.
I think they did acknowledge that there's like too much of one type of damage, so that might just be like thrown out and just turned into a vulnerability or something like that.
Yeah.
For everyone.
Yeah.
So don't quote me on that. So you might not have to worry about the slashing stuff too much.
Okay. It doesn't ring my seasonal bell. Okay. It's based in Gridania, which is so weird. It's like the most peaceful city-state in Eorzea, and that's where we have the most violent weapon. A fucking
How do you get in the
gun
12's wood?
And a blade combined.
Whoever the trainer is, how did they just walk into the 12's wood with a fucking gun blade?
Yeah, how did the elementals even allow that? Like, that's a fucking killing. That's like a killing weapon. It's made for slaughter.
Or maybe they found gun blades at the wall. Yeah,
but
wall.
no, they're not Garlean.
No,
that's right. Yeah,
they aren't Garlean. They don't run off
Someone reverse
ceruleum.
engineered it.
They are magic. They're using magic ammunition, which Garleans wouldn't use. So it's who made it? Who knows? Play Shadowbringers to find out.
Yeah.
I wonder who the trainer is.
Yeah. What if it's Squall?
I mean, it might as well be at this point.
No, say his name. It's Leon.
Oh, sorry,
Gosh.
Leon. Yeah.
Yeah, it's yeah.
He
just comes in like a bright pink balloon, or like a tank, and like this is not law friendly at all.
Oh yeah, I guess how is Thancred using it? Because his aether's all fucked up now, and he's really sensitive to it.
Well, it doesn't require
I wouldn't assume.
just a gun.
I'm assuming the magic is just packed into the bullets.
Yeah. I guess it's not like
you're not
I guess you just
actually
get
using
magic
magic.
bullets.
Maybe I don't know.
I hope you have
someone else makes it
buy
for you.
ammo.
Because I'm almost sure the gunblade is a Garlean invention to begin with, but that this particular style of gunblade is not of Garlean design.
Yeah.
It starts at level 60. Tentative, but probably gonna be final.
Yeah. Just like how Samurai and Red Mage started at 50. So it makes sense.
Yeah. It's enhanced with magic ammunition. It was a slashing tank, confirmed, by the way. I don't know if we said that. Tank confirmed.
Good.
Yeah.
They showed some footage of it in action in what is that area called? Akmarang. I can't remember.
Meringue?
It's something meringue. Do you like meringues? Meringues?
Yeah, meringue's good.
Okay.
Anyways, nice to know.
Wild West looking place, at least to me.
Amarang. Because it has the crystal wall. You can see like the crystal thing in the background.
Orangutan, yeah.
Right, we're off track. Yes, there's a speaking of track, there's a railroad track there. There's he's fighting an armadillo with a giant mace on its tail.
Looks cool.
Yeah, it looks cool.
Animations look nice for Gunbreaker too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it looks cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't see much. It had like a shield thing.
Yeah,
it did have a shield.
Some exploding things.
You loaded the ammo in it. It looked cool.
And you could see at some point he's doing the slash, and it does exactly. Also, they did specify that the Gunbreaker class is going to be like Gunblade. The Gunblades are like the Gunblades in 8 specifically. And you can see when he does the slash, it does the explosion thing, just like in 8 when you pull the trigger during a slash. So that was pretty cool. He did say something about that, but I'm assuming that would be the case here as well. But we know how 14 works, so it's probably just like an ability you have to activate before you slash. Something like that.
I feel like it's going to be a dark arts type thing.
Yeah.
And I hope it's not. I hope it's better done than dark arts, so I don't have to fucking mash it every other skill or something.
Yeah.
Maybe just for combo enders at least. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, how do you guys like the job name, Gunbreaker?
It's cool. I like the name.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah.
It's more tanky than Gunblade.
Yeah.
It sounds like a tank.
Yeah.
Gunblade that was like.
Gunblade's the name of the weapon. We will be weird to name the job after that.
Were they like? Was there a name for that in 8? Was that like a
just a seed candidate?
Yeah, it was just a soldier candidate, whatever.
Okay.
Just boys.
Yeah.
Okay, I never played it, so I was just wondering.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
What was I supposed to say? Well, it doesn't matter. We can move on.
The acronym will be GUN. The 3 letters.
Great Britain.
No, it's gonna be GBK.
L.
GBL.
K. Why K?
Gun. No, it's not Gunblade, Mal. It's Gunbreaker.
Oh yeah, of course it is.
GBK.
GBK.
Just talks about this.
GBR.
GNB.
Take your bets now.
Take your bets.
Who's it gonna be?
Okay.
I'm still going for Gun.
Okay. It's not going to be Gun because it's not
But I think it's funnier. It's like, oh yeah, I'm playing Gun Job.
Actually, Gun could work. Gun could work, Rollo. It's not too off. Because it's the same way as Blue Mage is BLU, which is not, you know.
Because otherwise it'd be BLM, which is Black Mage.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways, they showed us some areas. They showed us more of the Raktika Greatwood. And some of the music. Which
very good.
Had just been completed prior to FanFest. Soken must be. I think that's also, by the way, just a side note. They did talk about the raid. Couldn't show it because something was missing. I have a slight tingling that might be because Soken hadn't completed the music.
I would have been happy to see it silent.
Just a silent. Right? What did you say, Rollo?
You mean the 8-man raid, right?
Yeah, the 8-man raid. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Probably a Japanese fan fest. So
yeah, they showed the Raktika Greatwood, and it looks nice. It looks to me, again, I've said this a million times already, but I think it looks like a better Black Shroud, a more swampy Black Shroud.
Yeah, it's like Dim World or whatever it's called.
Yes, kind of like that. Yeah.
Dim World.
From Fringes.
Fringes, yeah. That last part of where the Black Shroud is fading into.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah.
I like that place.
Yeah.
And yeah, it looks really good. It's like really rich colors there. It's very dense forest.
Yeah. The thick trees I really like.
The thick trees.
Big lily pads.
They have egg tree. They have the tree with the egg.
They have an egg tree, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Big crystal egg.
Yeah, crystal egg.
Which I can't remember what they actually are, but it's in the game. It's in the quest with the Black Rose stuff.
Yeah,
I think
they do something. I don't think there's anything in the eggs, right? I think they're just
dragons.
Ah, what a terrible threat that they just have right at their doorstep. Then, then they show off Ilmeg, which is perhaps the most interesting part.
This place is great.
Mm-hmm. It's just the Shire, dude.
It's the Shire. Shire meets 14. Very beautiful area. Music is beautiful. Was that where they had that detail where he runs through a field of flowers and the flowers sort of fly up?
Floating up, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's very varied. It's got like hobbit houses, and then it's got like these elven, really like ornate ruins. Like old castle ruins and stuff.
Yeah, there's some castle ruins. I wonder what there's some lore implications there, like who lived there before. Maybe we learned that in the MSQ or side quest in that area. It is the realm of the pixies.
Yeah.
They again, they keep saying tricksters, but that is, canonically what pixies are.
How many tricksters we got? We got Self, Smoogles. Who's next?
Everyone they're like the pests. They're just one of the great pests of
about to start ripping off some fucking pixie wings and to deal with tricksters again.
Here they are.
It's weird they don't live in a foresty place though.
It is kind of weird, I guess. Yeah.
I think a meadow fits them fine too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at their boots.
They have, for our audio listeners, they look like. Where Celine and Eos has like butterfly wings, they have more of like dragonfly wings almost. They have like weird bug.
I can see them.
Bug.
They're cute though.
Yeah.
Bug wings.
Yeah.
It looks like they have grass on their head.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're very
kind
nice.
of like if sylphs looked more human.
I can't wait to like walk up to one in game and just go like that and just squash them with my hand.
God damn it.
They pull some shit. I'm not gonna hesitate.
the
like that Moogle quest where he's like, "How does she slap?" That was a great one.
They use magic.
They called it arcane arts.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
That implies.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what that implies.
It's secretive.
Yeah.
Hidden magic.
We'll learn about that soon. And they also made a whole new language for them, which I wonder how they speak in like Eorzean tongue. If they're gonna have like an annoying way of speaking, like the sylphs, like walking one.
Oh no, that was good. And then the man who joined said, whatever, I can't remember his name, but he joins and he's like, he just becomes a sylph basically. It was great. Please, can this one does that one's? That was a great. I liked him.
Well, the language they speak is Cold Fae.
Cold Fae.
And it seemed like it was
confused with our fairies for scholars.
Right, fairies
not
and
related,
pixies are
apparently.
different things. Yeah.
Very different.
Yeah. The Fae language was made, I think, primarily by Koji. It seems like Koji is the man they turn to when they need to make languages in game, like fake languages.
I imagine he has like a template, and he just changes words to fit it.
Yeah, probably. It's a very big task to create a language.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Tolkien.
That's probably part of the template. It's probably like a Tolkien template that is used.
Yeah. Speaking of literature,
their queen is called
say it right.
Titania.
Titania.
God damn it! And I said it the wrong way again. My brain is hardwired to read it as Titanic, and it just cannot go past it. Okay.
She is an important character in A Midsummer Night's Dream, which has a lot of other fairies in it.
Yeah.
That's Shakespeare, baby.
That's Shakespeare for you.
It's going to be a Shakespeare.
Apparently, that story was popular in Japan too.
That probably makes sense why they've done it then.
Yeah. It's kind of weird because this land looks very peaceful. It looks like if you can imagine the Shire, you can imagine basically what this land looks like.
And then we're gonna come along like the ring wraiths and just
we're the ring wraiths. We're gonna kill her apparently, and he did say she's not a primal. He said, "Is she a primal?" He said, and probably that means she isn't. She's just a pixie queen. I have a very picture.
Big pixie.
Yeah, I have a picture of said queen. Here's the key art for her.
Yeah.
She's very beautiful.
Model.
Just gonna run up to her and go, just like that.
Yeah.
Push her with my big hands.
There's an in-game model as well. Her wings are very beautiful. It's like her wings are almost like a mix of those pixie like dragonfly wings and butterfly wings almost. It's they're very
and
special.
Morph into like this, like the top bits, like
I
don't even know, like tree, like roots or something.
The top parts kind of look like almost like a flower bud.
Yeah, it does.
Kind of like she's popping out from it.
And her dress is very floral.
Yeah, very. So she looks like a peaceful queen too. Like looking at the artwork for her.
Elsa.
Yeah, it looks it's like a pixie Elsa.
You could say that about what was the Ananta one?
Sri Lakshmi.
Yeah,
Lakshmi. Like she looked pretty like,
but she was evil.
But she was evil. She was.
But she looked pretty like nice. I guess. Not overtly evil.
Yeah.
I feel like this one's a nice woman there.
I think this is nice. It also did seem like when Yoshi P presented it, it's like, why would you kill this queen? Why would you commit regicide?
Yeah.
I love regicide. It's in my blood, baby.
We don't know, but she is one of the upcoming trials, and I'm looking forward to that one. I'd look forward to that whole area. Their castle too is there. Like there's a palace thing in the middle with like wings strutting out of it. It's just an amazing place. It's also important to note, like, the colors aren't very vibrant in 14 in general, and you can kind of see that in this as well, that they're sort of dim. Like, there's not... The colors don't really...
They should be brighter than they are.
Yeah.
Well, the stream was kind of weird.
It was.
In terms of, like, especially when we saw, like, the blacks, they were
gray.
Gray. Yeah.
It was really weird, so...
The whole colors were...
Can we just talk about that for a little bit? Because... the whole production was like a Speakers Network production. Nothing worked. Like when they started, we're going to talk about the live letter later, but like when they did the live letter, literally they were going to show a video of Rival Wings new area, and a dude fucking comes on stage and is like, "Can we skip it?" And I don't think I've seen Yoshi P more confused in his life. He's like, this is the live letter. Like,
they do the thing that like we do, like
They just sat there in the most awkward silence for like 5 minutes. And they were like, I guess we'll move. And then the dude comes back and is like, yeah, it's still not working. Can you skip it? And they were like, okay, we'll skip. And then they started talking about Hydatos. And then the dude comes back and like, it's ready now.
Yeah.
And they had to redo the intro, too.
Yeah. And then
it makes you feel like
and then
we can definitely make it.
And then they did, well, let's play it. And then the lights go out. Nothing happens for like 2 minutes. And then the video starts. Like,
I loved it.
And then they cut to fucking footage from Hydatos. And you can see the loading screen. And it's gray. It's not black. Yeah. The colors are completely off. They didn't calibrate that at all.
Yeah.
So
terrible.
It was an experience.
But hey,
audio mixing too was pretty bad, by the way. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it happens in bad
areas. Yeah. I mean, it made me feel better about our streams because I mean, things go bad on this show, but I don't think we've ever had a problem where we would have to like literally skip something because I can't get it to work. That's what happened there. That was absurd. Anyways,
it'll happen.
It happens. It's live. That's the problem by doing stuff live. If shit happens, you have to deal with it on the fly. I'm sure the dude in control, the dude in charge, was sweating bullets. Anyways, let's move on. They then started talking about the Alliance raid.
Oh my god.
So
this is a thing.
Yes.
I'm surprised at you guys' reaction at this, honestly.
I'm happy, Rollo. Really
everyone's happy.
You know why I'm also confused and worried.
Everyone's happy. That's not the problem here. The thing is, so they're like, oh, we have this big project coming up for the Alliance raid, and I'm called in some friends because he didn't mention what's his name? Matsuno? Is that the Woolhead? I'm just gonna call him Woolhead. We know him as Woolhead.
Woolhead.
The guy from 12. The guy who made 12. And he said, yeah, for this project, I'm going to bring in some other friends. Matsuno, that's his name. Sorry. For this one, he was going to bring in someone else, and it immediately starts with that like near. Aesthetic.
We were like, no, surely not.
Yeah, we were like, because it has like the little like the digitized numbers and all that, and the noises, and we're like, no, no.
But then it was Yosuke,
and
like, he's definitely not as well known as the second guy.
Because we're like, surely, he's done Dragon Quest, so
maybe he's done a few other games, so maybe it's like a Dragon.
I mean, he worked on DQ11, which was that was pretty big. And he also worked, original Nier, I think.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't remember which ones, but he worked a lot with Yoko Taro before too.
Yeah.
Whatever it was called, Gestalt or something.
Yeah.
Nier, Gestalt, and I forget what that ones were.
And then he's like, I'm going to show that... okay, so he's like, I'm not going to call in... I'm going to show that I don't just call my friends for this. So here's our second designer. And it's fucking Moonhead, a.k.a...
It's Moonhead.
Oh.
Yeah.
And I lost my mind.
I was just...
So that's amazing. You know that when they make something, it's going to be great. It's called Yorha Dark Apocalypse, and it is literally near. There's no the screenshot they show is just.
It looked like it was just pasted out of No Automata.
Yeah,
like they take a screenshot of. I think it's 2P because she has the white outfit.
Yeah.
That's what 2P wears.
Yeah.
With one of those like.
By the way,
things in the background.
Was in Soul Calibur 6, so there's the crossover. Don't forget it. Those games are connected now.
Oh my god! This guy.
But they had all the other androids in the background, and the big Colossus. I forgot what it was called. But
I can't remember them, but they were pretty tough.
Yeah. So we're hyped for that, but there is, of course, a little bit of pushback for that because people are worried about how this is gonna mesh with AORC, or how it's going to fit into our world. But I know everyone's screaming. The other side is screaming theme park MMO. It's already happened. Like, look at, you're driving around on Cloud Spike. But I think the main point for those of you that are saying that, it's fine. But this is a completely different title, far removed from Final Fantasy. It is Nier. it is not a Final Fantasy game, and it is getting center stage for major content.
It's an expansion feature rather than a crossover event.
Yeah.
As it fucking deserves. I am not taking any shit on that one.
Yeah. It's just it's gonna be great. It's gonna be cool. I'm gonna love it. And it's gonna be probably the best Alliance raid we've ever had. But it's for just so we understand why some people are unhappy. It's because of that disconnect with the Eorzean world. As in Return to Ivalice, we sort of had the same feeling where we thought, this doesn't make any sense. This isn't Eorzean. Is this even happening? Like in the lore? Is this real? Is this a bubble? Because at first we were like thought that the book was like a literal thing. We are just entering a fantasy.
Yeah.
Like Rabanastre isn't real. But then as the story progressed, it sort of unraveled, and now it's canon lore. It is real. Dalmasca exists in Eorzea, and it makes sense. We knew that Dalmasca existed in Eorzea because it was a line of text from like 1.0 or whatever. But that sort of made sense. There is, I doubt strongly that the same is going to happen with Nier, and it's going to be like the most. It's going to go the Omega route, where it's like a very obvious theme park ride, if you know what I'm saying. Not that there's anything bad in that now, because that is what 14 is now, but it's going to be, this is such a glaringly obvious one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It looks cool.
Yeah. I hope there's tie-in with original Nier. I know they showed off Automata on like the slide, but I there's some cool stuff you can do with the original Nier. Also, some cool characters I like to see, like Heine, and Grimoire Weiss. Is that how you say it?
Weiss, yeah.
He's super cool. So I'm hoping they get some love too.
Yeah.
It's gonna
and Drakengard.
Yeah,
Drakengard gets in.
Yeah.
It's gonna be interesting to see how they do the fights in it, because at least Automata was almost entirely bullet hell based. It was an action platform reaction, but all the bosses were sort of bullet hell style bosses.
Can I just say that I'm very much looking forward to the soundtrack of this?
Oh god, yes!
Because Nier's soundtrack is
it's one of the best.
Yeah, so I'm very excited for this. Even if it doesn't exactly mesh well with Eorzea, I'm gonna let it slide just because it's Nier.
Maybe they'll actually pull something off.
Maybe. Yeah.
The 14 is a weird guy, so
yeah, and the 14 lore team can probably assist in trying to like make it work. So
I bet Koji Fox, as soon as he heard it, was like, oh my god,
he's on it. He's on it.
And I've said it like 3 times now, but Drakengard, Nier, and those 2 series, like they have ways that it could fit into 14. Basically, there are like story devices and things that happen.
Yeah. So yeah, that's all they really revealed. There was like a little interview thing with them. It's not an interview, it's just an announcement, and they were being their usual funny selves. I actually laughed quite a lot of that.
Yeah, I laughed. Yeah, that was really good. She just lost
worth watching that. I think it's on their YouTube channel. So if you can track that down. Right, and then the big reveal of Vieira.
Yeah. Put on the video. I want to feel sexy. Put it on.
Will be demonetized.
I want to.
It is. We have to talk about how weird that was presented.
I've seen safer videos. Oh no!
Listen, it's just like the Mithra video from 11. Remember the guy who's jacking off to that Mithra video every year? Same thing's gonna happen.
Did he do that this year? I haven't checked this year.
Let's check.
Let's check. Do it live. Do it live, Rollo.
Oh, I forgot about him.
So for those who don't know, I'll update them. Final Fantasy, I don't know if it's on the official 11 account or whatever, but there's a video from the 11 character creator. And in 11 they had like this artistic thing going on. When you selected a race, they would like do like pin-up shit. They would just the Mithra would be like lying on her back in the grass and she'd roll around. And there's this one dude that has been slapping the salmon.
We gotta say his name. He's a legend. His name is Blickeroni. He did not post the last year, though, unfortunately.
What?
Video for people who are curious.
Okay.
You can look at the comments.
Well, this doesn't make sense for VOD users or audio listeners. But anyways, the basically he every year since like 2005 or whatever, he's been posting updates about how he's been, again, slapping the salmon, trying to avoid demonetization here. For to this video, and he's been posting every single year. It's like, it's 2008 now. I have finally done it again. She's so
best part
beautiful.
Is, like, out of the top 6 comments, 5 are his.
Yeah. yeah. It's amazing.
I want the same thing to happen with the Vieira video. Yeah. I want someone to dedicate their life every year coming back just to make sure.
Him though, I want it to be Blickeroni.
Yeah, I want him to dude, have you seen this? He's like, oh my god.
Let's get him. Let's message him. Check this out.
Anyways, to talk about the video again. The presentation is weird. It kind of shows a little bit of why they made this race.
Exactly, yeah.
And it's kind of making me a little uncomfortable, a little embarrassed. I got a little embarrassed on our behalf that this is being if someone who's not played 14 before is like, wow, they're adding Vieira, and they watch the videos, it's just like soft porn.
Listen, if they know what Vieira is about, they'd be like, okay, yeah, this is what I expected. Yeah, this is what I want.
Yeah. It's just a weird video to do it. Why? I'm assuming that's their starting race gear, right?
It looks like altered.
And you only need to make a level 1 for the roleplay.
There you go. They showed off some of the variations they had. There were some different ear types. We saw 3 different ones, but we know there are more because you can get droopy ones. Yeah.
They had good faces, very sort of well-made faces.
Very high-quality faces.
Thick
lipped. Yeah. And for people who don't like upturned noses, they don't all have upturned noses like Fran. So you have choices.
They did not seem to show any other clan. It seemed to be just one of the clans, right?
That's true.
I think they showed both clans because the difference was that one clan was noticeably darker or something.
Sure, that wasn't just not a darker skin color they used.
I mean, that might be it, but I think that was what they talked about in the little lore bit. If you looked up Vieira on the ship, that one was noticeably darker or something.
Yeah. Okay. I think they were pretty okay. I'm not sure.
I might be wrong.
I just thought it looked like everyone was Fran's clan, which ties into another theory that we'll get to, because as you've probably noticed, they were all female.
As it should be.
So there was no male Vieira shown during this keynote, and he would not even acknowledge the fact that there was only one gender shown. And of course people get outraged immediately. I'll admit I got a little worried because I'd been joking for the past few weeks. I'm like, what if there's no males? And people got angry at me because you're gonna curse us, and then they show this in fanbase. I'm like, I cursed us. They didn't say anything. However, there have been interviews where Yoshi P said, wait for JP FanFest when asked about male Vieira. And here's what I think has happened is that when they made Return to Evilise, they needed Fran, and they thought, why not just kill 2 birds with 1 stone? We'll actually build the Vieira race and use that as Fran's model basis. And that's why, even because she has a unique running animation in Orbon Monastery, which sort of implies that there's already data in there for her race. I think they rushed to build the Fran race, Fran clan and gender to work with Return to Evilise, which is why only one clan is visible in that trailer, and it's Fran's clan, because that was finished first. Maybe the others weren't complete. Now there's another tidbit of information, and that is from the lovely what's her name? The name of the character designer
or costume designer.
Costume designer. She's so sweet. I can't remember her name though.
Ayumi.
Yeah, she's very sweet. And during her art panel, which was very good, she
drank her water like this.
She drank with two hands. She said, I think she might have slipped up a little bit because she was talking about the process of creating the Viera, and she said that some of the Viera looked like young Ellison, like a very young kind of Ellison, and Yoshi P cut her off, and she immediately stopped.
Can I just ask about that though?
Yeah.
Did he cut her off while she was still saying that in Japanese, or did the translator get to start talking?
I think he said it while she was in Japanese.
Wow.
So
okay, that's more. Yeah, that makes more.
Yeah.
All right.
She's been fired, guys. She's been fired.
Oh, please don't fire. She must never be fired. She's too precious.
No, she's been there since 11, dude. Or since 12, right?
Yeah. She was there since 11.
Oh, right. Yeah, sorry.
She did. I think she did some 12 as well.
We don't know if that is we don't know, but she did say that, and Yoshi P like cut her off, and she did not pick it back up. So take that as
Malvera are coming. That's gonna happen.
What if the only male? Because a lot of people were like, the only male race is that baby-looking race there. That raises so many red flags. Because I don't like that. I'm leaving this game if that is the male race. That is
we're not
the male.
Don't put
Viera.
Don't put little kids in this game. This isn't Terra.
Especially considering what they're supposed to do.
Yeah.
So
don't do that.
Don't do that. But I think Georgi says it. I think that there might be a different second clan which is smaller. Maybe that's the small
maybe
version. Yeah. That's the young Ellison she was talking about. But I think the male Viera is coming. I hope so, because it would be very strange to introduce a gender-locked race in 2019 when they said specifically when they made Aura that they would never make that mistake again of making a gender-locked race. However, the thing is, and I think this is why male Viera is so delayed, is because they don't exist. Like their models don't exist in any game. They're just this mythical creature that we never see. I mean,
they don't, but
so they have nothing to go off
for it.
They do, but did they? We don't know if they went for that. Like if that's been discarded or not.
Well, I mean, not concept art from 14. I mean, from 12. Like there was concept art for them, so Was there concept art for male Viera in 12? Yeah, they're never in game, but
I've never seen that art.
I feel like there was definitely concept art for males.
That's 14's concept art.
No, it had to be.
No, I'm pretty.
There was 14 concept art,
but there's at least no 3D models.
Yeah, that's true.
Because that's what they clearly did with Fran. They looked at 12's 3D model and modeled them after her. Yeah. The male ones are completely out there, and this leads back into Blue Fever, which I know everyone hates bringing up, but I'm going to bring it up again. They said that there was going to be 2 races, and his profile picture had a bunny and a lion. Now, considering how dodgy because his predictions have been a little inaccurate, because it kind of feels like this person has just sort of looked over someone's shoulder and not, like, they had no context of what they're looking at, like Adam and Eve for Omega. He might have, maybe the male Viera concept art now is so different from the female Viera, he maybe might have thought it was a completely different race.
Maybe. I hope that's not the case. I'm not really big on sexual dimorphism in games these days.
I don't think they're actually lions. I think they're just they're buffer.
Picked it up. Yeah.
I don't know. Or he was just trolling. I don't know. Who knows? It might have also been a beast tribe. It might have been something else. But we don't know. Right. So look forward to male Viera. I think we can there's still hope for male Viera, and I think there's going to be another clan, right? It'd be weird if we only got one clan for Viera. But you guys agree that that's a sound theory, that Fran was made first, therefore the ones shown off are Fran's clan?
I think so, yeah.
I totally believe that,
Yeah.
like the pipeline just... Because, like I said, they plan 2 years in advance, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, they wouldn't just like import her model directly from the 12 remake and then work on it afterwards. They probably thought, well, we might as well just actually make female model.
Yeah.
Save us time later on.
Because they're coming anyways, right? They're going to put them in the game eventually. So yeah, I wouldn't cry too much for the lack of male VR. And the fact that Yoshi P said wait for JP FanFest as well sort of implies that
they just want to blow up a little hype, or maybe they still work.
I just think the way they went about it was a bit wrong. I think they shouldn't have been that, because they were it almost sounded like they were afraid for like backlash, which is kind of weird.
Well, they managed to show something else.
What do you mean? They managed to what?
They managed to show something else that has a lot more backlash than, female-only race in the live letter with the new mount.
Yeah, we'll get to it. Yeah. Okay, so after that, they showed the collector's edition. Which is a nice one.
A very good statue this time.
Yeah, it's a statue of a Dark Knight standing on, it looks like darkness-aspected crystals.
God, is that going to be just the edgiest crystal there is?
Yeah. It's like the same crystals you'd see around the chrysalis, I guess. Those are the closest ones.
God, yeah.
And you get an art book. You get the statue. You get one of these. I don't get these. The bumper stickers for cars. I don't
know. People put them on laptops, I think, or
they
something.
They could put them on laptops, I guess.
I don't know.
But there's not space for three stickers on a laptop.
I just don't think it's nice. It's got it's just a black it's a rectangle. I don't know. Yeah. Put that on a laptop. Well, if you have a black, I guess it would mesh. It will blend in with a black.
Put it on your iMac. You'll look cool, I promise.
Yeah.
It also comes with playing cards that actually look pretty good. At first, I was like, really? Playing cards?
Especially because of the recent playing cards they released, which looked pretty awful.
Yeah.
But these ones are cool. They've got proper full size per card art on each one. They're all individual, unique art.
Yeah.
And using patch art and other key art too, which is super cool.
And they fill the whole thing. It's
really good.
Yeah. And they can only be obtained through the collector's edition. This will not be able to be. You cannot purchase this off the Square Enix store.
And it will cost you an arm and a leg.
Yeah, it'll cost you.
Of the
Stormblood one cost €199, and I don't see any reason why this should be any cheaper. Euros. I don't know if it's the same in dollars. Yeah, because that's what they did.
Just direct.
Yeah, it's going to be $199 probably. You get a wind-up Fran minion, a Grant mount, what is it? Granny mount. A granny.
A granny mount.
Oh, you get a granny mount.
Yeah, the granny. It's
the granny. Maybe it's granny. A granny mount. Whatever. It's the mount that you see in the artwork.
Fly-throughs.
You see it in the fly-throughs, but also in the Amano art that's also featured on the box.
Oh, it is that one, yeah. I always just saw it Sleipnir, but no, you're right.
Yeah. And
we did think it was Sleipnir first.
Yeah. And you also get Squall's Gunblade.
Revolver.
It's also just called Revolver, which it's called the Lionheart in 8, right?
Yeah.
So
something like that.
But it is Squall's, I'm pretty sure. It is Squall's. Sorry, Leon.
Thank you, Leon.
It becomes available on July 2nd.
Oh, it is called Revolver, apparently.
Yeah.
Is it really?
No, it's not. Is it? Well, maybe it is actually. Yeah.
Oh, maybe it is.
The
last weapon is Lionheart. That's the one that you. Yeah. Okay, sorry. Okay, so it is okay.
Yeah, his necklace was Griever.
Yeah. Also,
but wait, there's a pre-order bonus as well.
Oh, there's a pre-order bonus. So you get the Aetheryte earrings, which first of all you get a gremlin Minion.
The cute gremlin from the trailer, yeah.
The guy who just he bullies you.
Yeah. And then you get Aetheryte Earrings that provides you with 30% EXP if you're below level 70. But the biggest feature is that this one has stats, and they scale up to level 70, so you don't ever have to change your earrings. Yeah.
Do you know how annoying it is when you're leveling a class and you get like 5 levels and have to craft yourself some new gear?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I can't be bothered to do that.
Yeah.
Every 5 levels.
Yeah.
Really good.
It's nice. It's like the heirloom gear from WoW. Is that
sort of in a way? Yeah,
because that's gear that scales with you all the way up.
Eventually.
I mean, it's a start. They're at least maybe experimenting. It's the first of its kind in the game, so maybe it'll.
Because once you've capped, what's the point in just let you get like a set that scales?
Yeah, and if you pre-order, so remember pre-orders start on the 6th. You will get these earrings and the minion in the beginning of March.
Early March.
Early March. So might want to pre-order this so you can level your classes and be ready, because you can reach the current level cap, so you're ready for what's to come. Right. So that's what they showed in the keynote.
Just to let you know, Grani is apparently a horse owned by Sigurd in Norse mythology, apparently.
Oh, what was his name?
So it is
I forgot what.
Sigurd. Grani.
Grani. I can't.
Grani is the horse. Sigurd.
So this is
Norse thing. Right?
We are starting to go into like the more obscure parts of Norse myth. So far, we've had all the superstars of Norse mythology.
Here comes the police! They're banging on the door.
Shit! We're talking about Norse
nationalists in there.
Oh god!
Grani is a descendant of Odin's own steed Sleipnir. So it's
that's why it's so
they've
similar.
kept it within theme, which is nice.
Okay. Anyways, let's move on to Live Letter 49. It wasn't as beefy as I had expected, although, no, actually, to be fair, my expectations were wrong. I forgot that we are actually at the end of the expansion now. There isn't a lot more coming. The timeline was revealed. 4.55 is out on February 12th. We'll get Hidden Gorge and Eureka Hydatos on that. So that's very soon. 4.56, late March, we'll get Main Scenario Part 2. After the Japanese
That's what
Fan
I actually
Fest,
want.
which the Japanese Fan Fest is on the 22nd or the 23rd. Is it the weekend?
23rd, yeah.
Okay, the 23rd and 24th. So I'm assuming the patch will be out on the 26th.
Makes sense.
That's when we get the last part of the main scenario. In 4.57, they didn't give us a date, but that's when the World Visit System is out. And then an additional patch, 4.58. So the longest patch series so far in the game is various adjustments. And that's most likely when they will merge the TP and MP bar. Among other things. Probably
like the early stages of this job overhaul they're doing for 5.0 as well.
Do you think they'll release the benchmark? They do that
I forgot about benchmarks.
Yeah.
The probably right after Japanese Fan Fest and the trailer is out. That's usually when they release that. Yeah.
I love those.
Yeah.
You had to analyze every little frame.
And you get to make you can try out the character creator too.
Oh god, and there'll actually be a reason to do it this time.
Yeah.
Like there wasn't for Stormblood really, but
the World Visit System. So we know that 4.56 will be out again. Was it the 26th? Most likely.
Probably.
And I would assume sometime in April we'll get 4.57 because in May. Because it might be in May. I don't know how long they'll drag this out. But the game is not out until July 2nd.
Either way, sometime between
April and May.
We're losing half of our friends.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, I just looked up what time FanFest can start in Japan.
Oh
no, don't do that.
6 p.m. 6 p.m.
6
p.m. GMT.
6 p.m. For Japan.
Oh
right?
no!
Wait, what's that? Like 2 a.m. It's like stupid.
That's 4 a.m. for me. So that's fine for you again. What the fuck?
It's gonna be perfect for us, actually.
I got screwed again on this.
That's like 10 a.m. or 11 a.m.
Yeah, it's later than this one.
That's really
It's actually
good,
more
yeah.
comfortable time.
Yeah, I can get a better sleep.
Yeah. Okay. Nice. Okay. I'm sorry, Rollo. Okay, so
That's so awkward because you can't. You either have to wake up early or just stay up super late.
It's in that weird thing, and like I can't wake up at like. I'm not gonna wake up at like
6 p.m. the night before.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say some more weird shit, so look forward to that.
Okay, so they started talking about Hidden Gorge, which was where all the technical stuff just broke down. But he did talk about this train that they called a cerulean engine, which I'm wondering is
GOB trains for short.
Yeah, GOB trains. So they like their full name for a train is cerulean engine, which I think is interesting.
I like that.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Because we call them steam engines back in the day, I guess. So I guess that's what because they don't use steam, they use cerulean. There we go. These trains will depart from stations and cross the map.
Quite fast, I think.
Yeah, and if you get hit, you will take a lot of damage. And these teams can capture these train stations, and then they will receive like additional, I guess, cerulean tanks or whatever and stuff to help them. So it's worth capturing those. There are also mercenaries roaming as a third force.
This was cool, yeah.
Yeah.
It's the dude from Alexander 10?
Yes. I think that would be correct. Yeah, it's the one with the horns.
It's the one where that guy kept standing on all the traps on your stream.
Yes. And if you deal... the team that deals the most damage to them will join their side. And will fight for them. So
listed as like an NPC.
Yeah. So that's cool. It adds a few more layers to Rival Wings. Also on that stream, I realized that I've said the name of the previous map wrong. Also, Koji Fox did. He never said it correctly either. I've always said Astrologos, but it's Astragolos. It completely blew my mind. And someone should tell Koji Fox that. Because he said it the way we've said it. Astrologos. So, yeah. Right. Next, he moved on to Hydatos, which is the final and fourth chapter in the Eureka series. The elemental level cap is raised to level 60 here, which is only 10 levels. From Pyros, so the smallest increase, I think, so far. Not so far. This is the last chapter, so it is
this expansion at least.
Pyros gear that you've acquired in gear from Pyros can be further upgraded in Hydatos. There are new logos, actions, and spells and stuff added here. But I guess, and they showed the world. The map looks really nice. Like the water is going the wrong way.
It's pretty
waterfalls
cool.
going up. But I think the thing everyone was most interested in was the new public dungeon that's introduced in Hydatos, the Baldessian Arsenal.
Optional too.
Optional.
Ah, fuck! I slapped my hand on the table. Ow.
He's actually orange now. He's become orange.
You have become orange. It has happened.
No, I hurt my fingers bowling a few days ago, and I slapped it on. They're kind of tender, and I
You are broken.
Ow, they hurt.
You're like a character from like some weird sitcom. You're not real. Okay.
I'm a cartoon.
Anyways, the Baldessian Arsenal. It is completely optional. You don't have to actually do this to finish Hydatos. So
you have to do it if you want to say that you're a good player.
Yeah, because what they said was a little scary. This is an ultra high-end public instance dungeon. It can hold 56 adventurers at once. And it's restricted to those adventurers who fulfill several strict requirements, such as witnessing the conclusion of the Eureka storyline. That's not a strict.
Strict.
But he did show that there were some tethers connected to the dungeon, and it seemed like you had to like release those. There's like a gauge that seems to be like you have to fill it up to release it.
Yeah.
And there were quite a lot of them. So I think it's like an instance effort. Like you have to work together in the instance to try to release the locks to get inside.
Yeah.
He did.
It was stressed that you need a lot of time for this.
He did say that. And it's like they kept stressing this is going to be hell. This is so hard, and resting is not allowed, and that means that if you fucking die in this, you're gonna de-level.
Yeah, and then you'll have to grind your way back up to try it again.
Yeah.
So I know old school rating is always like 50 plus people. Like that was the standard back then.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I don't know if people who play 14 are going to be able to do this.
I know. That's the biggest worry.
Because
when they do Tamtar and Deepcroft.
Yeah.
Because at least when you used to raid back in the day, it was like with your guild.
Yeah.
You know, you coordinated with these people. But coordinating with a randos in this instance, and I don't think you can't really preform do a party finder for 56 people. You can find a group for 8 to go in there and try it, but
yeah, that's a good point.
You can't have a full team in there, and it's like, what's you're gonna need like a certain comp for it? Like, are you gonna need a tank and a DPS and a healer, or can you just 4-man party it, or 8-man, or
I don't know.
It's crazy.
It's also weird because 14 is not like this. Like, it's a very hand-holdy game, except for when you go into Savage raiding, I guess, or Ultimate. I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I think the shout chat is going to be extremely toxic. It's going to be the most toxic chat. So maybe worth going to Hideatus just to read the chat.
That's why I want to
go. Also want to specify with the rest thing. He did say that healers could not rest. There are rest restrictions in place, so maybe you can use a Phoenix down. I don't know. But you can I don't know if that's how that works, but can you only hold one Phoenix down, by the way?
Yeah.
So there you go. There's already a restriction there. But maybe you can have race logo actions. Maybe that's a way to
you
survive.
Won't level if you die in there specifically.
Oh, I think they will. I think
maybe you'll just get pushed out.
That's the ultimate. That's the ultimate punishment. Like, you've de-leveled, you can't enter here again until you've leveled back up.
That would make me so mad.
That's a good punishment.
It's a good punishment, though. It's like, it's the most evil punishment.
It's fine if it's...
It means death is such a like, you do not want to die in here, dude. Don't go in here if you're not ready.
But depending... I feel like they're going to tone down mechanics for this. However,
it's going to get nerfed eventually, don't worry.
But, like... coordinating these 50 plus people, everyone's gonna be fucking yelling and being angry. You didn't do this. Your team didn't pull.
Well, it's gonna happen, but I'm gonna assume that eventually people are gonna form like statics for it.
Yeah,
because that's what happens with hardcore content. Eventually, people are like, we can't do this without we need to form. But statics.
You can't group up together. That's the thing.
There must be a way. They'll make.
What do you mean you can't group up together?
Well, because like,
you can't form parties.
You can form parties.
But you can't make a 54-player party.
That's
are you gonna keep jumping from instance to instance and hoping that you meet up with the whatever instance you want to get into?
Can you form alliances and join?
Still only 24 people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but you could at least try at that point to get in. At least if you're 24 people, you'll be like 2.5 alliances entering Hideatus. You might be lucky.
And so that's like,
where there's a will, there's a way, Rollo.
They'd have to make some pretty big like changes to how like grouping up works for this. I think if it's going to be this hardcore experience they're talking about. I mean, if it's designed for pugs to be able to kind of fumble their way through it, and whatever.
It's not made for that, which is why he emphasized this is optional. Hideatus is not locked behind finishing this. The story can be completed without ever touching the arsenal. This is only for the highest end of I guess, Eureka
But
players.
but people are going to want to do it anyway. I mean, depending what the reward is.
Yeah, well, they'll keep doing it until they like de-level and they're like, fuck, and they'll never do it again. They'll rage quit and they'll write angry posts on the official forums.
Yeah.
Are you going to do it?
I don't know. I might want to put my toe, but
Someone
D-level,
please carry us through it.
One level down and I'm out, bitch. But they showed Absolute Virtue, who's in there, and he's an absolute asshole in 11. So it's gonna be tough.
He's nigh on impossible in 11. He was designed to be close to impossible, and they got angry that
Didn't people have to like rotate out for like, hey, I gotta go to work, or I gotta like, can you take my spot in the party? I'll come back later.
They spent like, it took a long time to fight, like continuously. I think they took like 11 hours or whatever to beat him. The first clear, I mean.
God, I hope that's in this one. Oh,
they did say this is going to take a lot of time, but you have to remember there are time restrictions in 14, so
maybe not in here.
Maybe not. Maybe it's a different timer in there, actually.
Maybe you get put into like an instance and an instance.
Yeah.
When you do that.
Yeah.
Oh, then I can't see shout chat. That's what happens. Dang.
Oh, well, you'll hear it when they come out. And they get kicked out.
Oh, yeah.
That's when the salt really comes, so.
Yeah.
Hi, sir. Welcome to Salt Mines. I'll take your coat. Okay.
Yeah.
It's going to be pretty interesting with sort of how a casual reputation Eureka has.
Yeah.
Whether the really hardcore raid teams try this.
Yeah, this isn't.
I'd be
I
interested
feel like
to see them do it.
I get conflicting messages from Eureka.
Okay, we have to clarify something about Eureka. I don't think Yoshi P ever said the words casual about Eureka.
But people in the community see it that way because
it's
just a mindless grind.
It was, that's why it's getting the casual status. He said it was, what was it the words he used? It was from. It's not.
You turn on Netflix and you do it. That's what he said.
Yeah, he used some. He was very diplomatic when he spoke like a politician when presenting Eureka. I guess he chose his words carefully. He also not said that it's hardcore. This dungeon is literally they call it an ultra high end dungeon. Mm-hmm. They did not say hardcore. So we don't quite know what this entails. One thing they have not shown or said anything about are the rewards.
Yeah,
because surely you'd want something for it. There's this one.
Oh, here comes the iPad.
Sorry, Grandpa needs to look at the iPad. There's like do you see the slide?
There's a virus on it.
There's like a slide they had where there's something encased.
Well, it's
in
called the Baldessian Arsenal.
A chain.
That'll be one of the weapons in the arsenal.
Yeah.
So you get an even more final step of the Eureka weapon.
Maybe you get a different weapon.
That's the only way you can get the final relic roller is by competing.
No, because they said that wasn't going to be a thing. So this might be.
If it's just a title, that'd be lame.
Yeah, I guess.
But if it's a cool title, like
the Legend
big dick, actual big dick dude.
The Legend V2. There you go.
Yeah. Balls of Steel, Big Dick Energy Radiator,
Salt Miner.
Yeah. The possibilities are endless. Right. I'm semi looking forward to it. I want to see what it is at least. I'm interested to see like what the dungeon is. I want to see the rewards.
Yeah. I mean, I hope it's good. I always hope stuff is good. Obviously.
Yeah. He also did sort of reveal that a different version of Eureka is coming because they talked about. This is in the Q&A section, by the way. I'll save it. Okay, next they showed the Final Fantasy 15, 14 crossover. It's coming. They showed Noctis. It's weird because it doesn't look like Noctis as much because they're using, the Hure model. But whatever. Weird thing. So they have like a lot of 15 mobs in this teaser. Like they have like the Imperial soldiers, the Magitech soldiers.
They really good. Like they animate really nicely.
Yeah. And they have the vanguards and whatever. And then they show the 15 Garuda, the one that shows up in the 14 and 15 crossover in 15. Literally,
I thought it was just regular Garuda that showed up.
Don't have No. Yes, they do. They fight our Garuda, and then he gets a summon that looks like Garuda but isn't Garuda. So it kind of looks like a 15 twist on Garuda. And she's like, I'll call myself Garuda. And then she shows up in 14 for some reason. I find that a little bit weird because we already have Garuda and you're just doing another Garuda fight with
But does 15 even have like a unique primal, really? Because they're all just kind of the classics.
That's a good point.
Because they have like,
no, it had unique like boss characters, but no primal.
Yeah.
They should have put like one of the bad guys, like Arsane or whatever, or the girl, the Dragoon girl. Or I don't know, fighting Octans.
It's their Bahamut would be cool. I don't know what that is, what that looks like actually, but
or even just Ifrit. Ifrit was cool.
Oh yeah,
he was good in that.
Cool.
Yeah.
He
looked like Satan.
But maybe not. I mean, I don't know. It's weird, but they also showed like a camp scene. They're
that was cool.
Yeah. I don't know if that's probably just a cutscene, right? It's
Will we get the Foreman Grill promotion? Whereas we have the official Foreman camping products.
Oh god.
It's some noodle of cup ramen.
But I guess the most important part is that they showed off the regalia.
How do you guys say regalia or regalia?
I'd say regalia.
I think regalia is like.
I think in game they say regalia, don't they?
Regalia. It sounds more Latin to me though. That sounds like the Latins would say
the
it.
Regalia.
The regalia.
I've come up with a new recipe.
Well, it's there. It's in game. It's a 4-man mount. It's happening.
Hey, you know what? I said this before. I said this is the only way I would accept this car mount, the regalia, in 14, is if it was a 4-player mount, because giving it out for free is nice. It's very nice considering how much 2-person mounts are in this game, which are like, what's the cheapest one? I guess technically the for fur friend.
It's It's just a little sad that the only reason we're happy that we get the regalia is because it's free.
It's like, they didn't 14ify it, you know? They didn't make it like they could have made it a bit chunkier.
It's just you know me, I'm gonna complain because my lore, but it's just
you got
weird.
mad about the tombstone phone, which is weird.
Of course, the tombstone. Do you not think the tombstone phone is weird?
No,
it's an iPhone.
No, it's a tombstone phone. Different.
You are the reason this is happening, Rollo.
I'm the reason.
You're the
I don't
reason.
Even like 15.
You're
don't
the
come
reason
at me.
This is happening. You're like, it's very cool and funny. Also, hashtag relatable.
I think it's funny that the tombstone phone is in there.
Anyways, that's not the point. Fuck the tombstone phone. It's just an emote.
They put it in Kingdom Hearts.
It's gonna be weird for a fresh player. This is what I'm gonna use as the standard here. A fresh player starts 14 is like, wow, high fantasy. You enter the fucking game on a chocobo carriage and people are shooting with fucking bows and arrows at you, and you exit the instance and a fucking 4-man car, a convertible, is fucking passing by. That is weird. Like, the Garleans are like, oh, we're so afraid of the Garleans. They have such advanced tech.
It's special, though. It's one of a kind.
Cloud's bike. What is happening? Where does this tech come from, and why aren't we using it for our own good? We have better tech than the Garleans.
I don't think that it's that much of a big deal for new players. I will say, though, this is going to look terrible in Eureka, because it's going to be an actual taxi service, and you're just going to see lines of regalias in every single bit of Eureka just getting around.
I'm going to accept it, just as how I accepted the fucking Cloud bike and the fucking Tome phone, but I'm going to just vent while I can. And I'm going to enjoy the final days of 14 without the regalia in it. I'm going to cherish. I'm going to play that opening cutscene and be like, oh, remember that? Remember when the only mode of transportation was chocobo, you know, the lore-friendly mount? The only mount that is, like, used in the game. Like, they don't use any other modes of transportation.
It's fine. Listen.
And then I'll be like, okay, It's happened. I'm an old man. I'm grumpy. I'm screaming at the clouds. It's just I'm a demented old man. The kids want home phones and cars, even though this world is literally high fantasy. Moving on.
Wait. Request. I'm making it here. Modders, make it a police car. Do a police car skin.
I am gonna, if I see a picture, I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cry actual tears, and I'm gonna record it while I'm shitting on the toilet. What?
When you do make it, okay, that's weird.
Reference. Call back. Go on.
When you do make it, make sure to add me on Twitter and at Lukiel and the speaker's Twitter so we see it and we know we got it.
And you will know the moment I receive that tweet that I'm actually crying. That there's a tear. I'll be silent, of course, but there'll be that one tear.
Make him cry. Make him cry.
And I'll do this. I'll make this sound.
I'll laugh in the background.
It's over. It's over. It's all ogre now. DM it to me for extra pain. It's just so personal. It's just like, here it is. Okay. Anyways, because it's just gonna be just a a black and white flashback with sad piano music to when I talked about this like a year ago. Like literally my worst nightmare is waking up to 14 and having a police car in the game, just like Terra did. And now we're so close. We are literally at the edge of the cliff. Anyways, enough about my dramatic reactions.
It has to play Stand By Me when you get in the car. That Stand By Me cover.
There's no way they're going to get the license to that.
Do it. Come on.
I hope it plays the default Heavensward, like, flying mount music.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Right.
Make a Postman Pat car mod. I want to drive a little postman.
Stop it.
I'm going to turn off your mic. Enough ideas from you, Mister.
If any of these mods come true, your internship is over.
I hope they do.
Okay.
We will all get the Postman Pat car.
Fuck. How does... Okay, so they moved from that. There was a 1 hour break. Actually, it wasn't. It was just like half an hour because they ran out of time. But they moved on to Eorzean Question Time, which is a Q&A where people from the audience submitted questions. And they answered. Of course, this has been screened, so no male Viera questions were asked.
Okay.
But
they didn't do it live, like last time.
Yeah. They also had this weird... It's the same gimmick that we have with the Cup of Doom, which...
Yeah.
No, we're not doing it anymore. Oh, that's weird. They had like a wooden box that they pulled the questions from. They could have just had an iPad. Other smart devices are available. Other tablets.
But no one gets that. But
if you watch BBC or any other state broadcast,
they do it in BBC too. Okay,
all state broadcasters are required to do that.
Yeah, they have.
They don't have that shit here. Okay, I'm sorry.
It's publicly funded.
Yeah. Okay. How does it feel? So we're just gonna jump into it because we're kind of actually already running out of time.
Okay.
How does it feel when you kill off a character like Ysael or Yotziu? What's the first question, and that made Yoshi P walk away.
Very long answer.
Yeah, there's a long answer, but Koji Fox answered that no. I was trying to refer to when I got confused, and I confused myself. When this was answered, I thought Koji Fox said it's me, but he was doing the translation for Yoshi P, and I thought, what? Koji Fox is in charge of killing off characters? No, it's Yoshi P. Serious question, serious answer. No serious answer. Because 14 is a game we put a lot of effort in and has been going for a long time, each character's fate is decided very early and taken very seriously. We put extra effort into making sure that if a character is killed off, that we look back on them with fond memories. Just like we do with Horsefond and Ysael, and to an extent, I suppose, Mombrida.
And Papalimo.
But no one else. No one else.
Not enough Papalimo callbacks, actually.
That's weird. I'm surprised people felt more for Horsefant than they did Papalimo.
Yeah,
I'm surprised Lise has never mentioned him since.
It's very strange, right? It's
they were close.
No, she mentioned him in the Gimlet Dark.
She did. There was a reference to him there, actually. Yeah, you're right. Another character we killed in 4.3 we talked in depth about, so that's how we would kill her off, and if we would. We decided killing her at that point was right, but we wanted to give her death meaning, hence her relationship with Gusetsu. The dev team cried watching so that's Yotsuyu.
Why would they cry?
Because
she was evil.
She had a bit of a tragic backstory, I guess, so there was that. I mean, it was sad that she died in a way, because she was almost, remember she had that moment where she was like almost, she was like a child, technically.
That was,
but it was mostly sad. You were mostly sad for Gusetsu, because Gusetsu was genuinely caring for her at that point. Not so much for Yotsuyu, because she kind of wanted to die in a way, because she had lots of baggage.
Yeah, but that's still sad too.
Yeah. Another really interesting question was also, by the way, just again to talk about Papalimo, it is weird that somehow we talk more about Mombrita dying than Papalimo, because Papalimo was there from the beginning.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's so weird to me. But I felt a little bit more attached to Papalimo than I did the other.
Obviously, because Mombrita was there for like a patch.
Yeah.
But I think his death was so abrupt as well. It was just like you did not expect him to die, and then you didn't really see, because he just faded away. It's like the Louis Soir death, where it's like we don't really understand what happened, and then it's not referenced again. I think it's sad, because I think Papalimo at that point had actually become a really good character. He started to like form. He's not just that annoying. I think his voice actor had a lot to do with this, because his old voice actor was just clearly a man trying to sound like a small person, like the other one was more legit.
Yeah, didn't they get someone famous for the original one? Was it Troy Baker? Or something?
Was he? Yes, it was. I think so.
It was Troy Baker, but he had terrible direction, so he sounded awful.
Yeah, Nolan North was actually the dude.
Nolan North, sorry.
Yes,
Nolan North, not Troy Baker.
Okay.
There's police coming. Hold on.
It's the Regalia Mount mod. It's already finished.
Wow, you guys are quick.
This one's very interesting. Why doesn't Mahjong give MGP? So there was a clearer reason for this, and it kind of makes sense when you hear the answer. We had a plan to add table games like poker early in 14 development, but when checking laws, gambling laws can be an issue. So when you look at the back of the game case, you can see ratings like violence or blood, but not gambling. And also, it's scary because in the current political climate, gambling is being like restricted a lot in video games right now. So it's probably wise to not add that to the game. So adding gambling after launch would violate the ratings. These ratings, like gambling, have to be added at expansion launch, so monetary rewards could be considered gambling and could risk having it removed entirely.
That's totally understable.
Yeah.
It's a shame we can never get like Texas Hold'em or something, because that'd be fun, but...
Yeah. He also says that the checks on rating are very harsh, even more so than TV or movies, and I'm assuming he's sort of implying the European stuff that's Europe especially right now is up in arms about hidden gambling, especially in video games.
Dude, video game cert is rough work. It's like there's a lot of stuff you have to do for every region. I heard stories of people forgetting dildos in one game for a region, and they had to like spend like another $100,000 to redo it again.
Right.
Just for submission. It's like, oof.
Yeah.
It's rough.
You may recall where Yosetsu steps on Gusetsu. If you could see Gusetsu fully, it would actually be a ratings concern. That's why you can only see her foot, but not what's happening underneath. That's interesting. Another scene we wanted to have an Alliance soldier shoot. This one I've actually heard before. I remember him all the way back in A Realm Reborn talked about this. Where they wanted an Alliance soldier shoot an arrow into an enemy, but the piercing of an arrow cannot be shown. We were told a joke arrow with a suction cup would be okay. So it's like, Wow.
I want to know what region said that, because they're obviously
North America, probably.
No, because you can get to get a T rating. You can definitely get hit with like an arrow.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's certainly not Europe, because we're not that strict when it comes to blood.
I think Japan isn't super strict about stuff, but they're strict about certain things. If you want to get the
Australia, maybe. Yeah, okay.
Well, could be Australia.
They are very strict when it comes to that. Yeah,
there is. That's true.
But I don't know if an arrow would be. I don't know. There are a lot of countries where that is very strict, though. Blood, especially, is rough in some certain countries.
So I guess they have to do it for like the most strictest one, and basically go from there.
Yeah.
Which that sucks.
Yeah. They got away with Raubam's arm in the trailer for some reason. So the trailer has blood, but it doesn't show the actual decapitation. It shows an arm just rolling and some blood splatter in the trailer. In the actual in-game cutscene, you only see the arm roll, no blood splatter.
So absurd.
It's very absurd. It's weird that games, for some reason, are so restrictive, while TV and movies can have, fucking gore fests. And it's still fine. Well, some countries will block them, but whatever. Okay, so someone asked if they can get a friend list cap increase with the cross-server system being implemented.
I don't think we actually need this.
It was just a weird flex, but okay.
Yeah.
It was.
They tried testing it with 512, but we encountered critical errors. As it is, it might be impossible. To alleviate that, we thought about a new system with a local data system where it's saved to the PC or PS4. Our next task was working out how we send that data, and it turns out the architecture from 2.0 is a bit outdated, and we're looking at changing and adjusting it to get a bigger friend list working. The cracks of 14's engine really showed, actually, in these panels, especially during. This is a side note, not exactly about this, but this is self-explanatory. You don't need. You can't. If you filled your friend list, it's time to clean up.
People can barely manage like 100 connections with other people in like real life. You can't. Yeah. Why do you, I understand, like, if you can make the list bigger, sure, why not? But why 200?
Yeah.
What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
So Ayami, the costume designer or the gear designer for 14, she at multiple points criticized 14's restrictive engine, especially textures. Because when she was like drawing up stuff, it was sort of sad to see them be downscaled because her vision didn't really come through to the game fully. And that I believe she also said that she had like asked Yoshi P if it was possible to upgrade, and it's like, bits and codes and data. They also talked about the capes. In the panel that was right before the Eurasian question time, because she actually came onto the second part of the live letter, and they did take some questions. I didn't write them down because they're not really that interesting, but that one was interesting because they talked about how the translator said boning bones.
I remember that.
I don't think they call it boning. I think it's just called rigging.
Yeah, I think
rigging.
I think she just lost in translation there. I don't think she actually knew about the term, and she just thought it boning bones. They talked about like how for something to be moving dynamically in 14, it has to have bones in it in a rig, and there was a point. And she brought that up because she thought that was pretty bad. That it was difficult to like design gear because they can't have free flowing capes and stuff. And Yoshi P gave this weird thing that you would have to add bones to the cape, and we have decided how many bones you can see at any given time in the game. So if we were to add that, we would have to remove bones from other parts of the character, which makes sense, except for the fact that we already know that cape physics is supported natively in the game engine, and that they had that planned, but they removed it because of PS3 restrictions. The PS3 literally couldn't handle it. I'm hoping that maybe in Shadowbringers, because I did believe he did say at some point that they were looking into upgrades to the actual engine itself. I can't remember which panel he said that on, but he did say that. So maybe they'll flick the switch. I feel like it's just a switch. Because apparently in the Odin cape, that's the one we're talking, the famous Odin cape.
Yeah.
Apparently the cape is still there, but on the model, but it's disabled. It's just off, which is why the Odin outfit in 14 just doesn't have a cape.
It looks awful without the cape, by the way.
It does. I don't think they'll get a new engine, but you have to remember, this is a stripped-down version, of course, a customized branch of the Luminous engine. And the Luminous engine can do a lot. I don't know how much transferred over when they customized it. It's no longer the Luminous engine that it once was, like when they pulled it out. But it can do more than... I think it's the 1.0 netcode that's fucking shit up.
Mm-hmm.
So...
Is it? Yeah.
And they have to like untangle that mess, and that's going to take... It's taken them a lot of time, but they're slowly getting there. So, who knows? Maybe Shadowbringers, can...
The expansion of capes. We'll get a cape slot even.
To say it like this, the 1.0 netcode did support the cape. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Because it worked. It was the PS3 that held them back. Okay, anyways, a side note. They asked what his favorite moment in Eorzea was as a player. As a player, my favorite moment was binding Coil and clearing it. He said specifically turn 9.
That Nail.
Killing Nail. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I agree with. That's probably one of the most fulfilling, because it was such a difficult fight. I suppose I feel like it's harder than Bahamut ever was, because there's something about how Nail's mechanics work that makes it very difficult. As a developer, it was when he destroyed Eorzea with a meteor.
That's fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, sure. Have your fun, Yoshi P.
I made a permanent mark on this game.
I blew it up.
They talked about, someone asked, have you considered adjusting HP of A and S rank hunts as they can die too quickly?
They can, yeah.
That is very true. If you try to do a hunts, it can be a nightmare because they melt like that. Some of them do anyway.
It's not too bad, honestly. Just hit them with one attack, like an OGCD, and you'll get credit.
Yeah,
it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He says the solution seems simple, but it's really not. The low-level areas have a cap for levels. We could use a fate type mechanic where there is level sync, or make it a fate itself. However, if we just change it to a fate, we couldn't make it work with the condition system that hunts have. I remember in Revenant's Toll that a hunt would pop right by players playing triple triad and kill them. So, I agree. I don't want them to turn them into fates. I kind of like that it's kind of old school NMs, not a fate. Because the fate will show up on the map. Unless they do it like Odin, it only shows up on the minimap when you're nearby. Of course, I could do that. I don't know how... I mean, they have the NM system for Eureka, but I don't know if it's probably too hard to make it work with all the weird conditions.
Yeah, like the killing yourself off certain places.
Killing
all that
yourself
stuff.
while naked in Upper Lenosha.
Yeah. That's important to spawn an NM.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think it's really a big deal, honestly, though, because it's like I don't know what to call this, but like, when you hit an enemy and it's like it's already dead, right? But your attack still goes through and you get the I guess you call it like overkill, maybe. Like you still get credit when that happens,
Right.
Like damage something, like it's already dead, but your damage is going through anyway.
Right. Yeah.
So if I guess he could call it overkill. I'm not sure, but you still get full credit.
I don't know if I quite understand what you're saying. Overkill.
Okay, so when you're like using like OGCDs,
yeah,
like you'll throw it out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you're in the animation basically, but it's dead. Like its HP is at 0. You look at it, right? But your damage number still floats. Like you see it float by when it's past 0%, right?
Yes.
And like you still get credit when that happens. Basically, the mob is dead, but you still hit it.
That's in game now.
Yes. It's more to do with server ticks, I guess.
That's the server tick issue.
But it works in your favor.
Which is the same issue, like the same exploit that people use to level Blue Mage. So
Yeah.
The server takes there's a pretty long time between the ticks here.
Yeah, but hey, it works in your favor here. So
it does. Yeah. Mm-hmm. They didn't say that. They basically said they're not going to adjust them. I do agree with chat. I believe someone said like Umbral, they should just reduce the respawn timer. That would have solved a lot, because if it melts really quickly, at least you don't have to wait like.
Yeah, at least for older ones, it'd be fine. Like
we're talking about Realm Reborn stones here, obviously, but
I guess they still have to worry about balance for Realm Reborn for people who haven't bought other expansions, because if you're just getting allied seals and you're getting a ton of good gear really quickly.
Well, the allied seals give you the mount speed thing, so there's some use for it. Okay.
That's my guess.
Someone asked when were we getting the Asus Law theme for Orchestrion Roll? I didn't even know that wasn't in game.
I can barely remember that theme, honestly.
I don't even remember what it sounds like.
No, same.
Was it good?
Probably someone asked for it. So, so he said, "Ask Soken." Couldn't give an answer. Someone asked, "It'll be nice to have more lore on gear like raid or job gear. Can we get quests for this?" And he says, basically, "Get the fucking lore book, you pleb.
Buy the lore book, chump. Spend that $35, whatever."
Yeah.
I wish you could get a digital version of it for people who don't manage to get the hard copy. You know?
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah.
Ask that question, someone
asked that. Could there be a party level sync in Eureka? Everyone's been asking for this. It's sad that it came this late. I think this is the first time that question's actually been asked properly in a Q&A, and unfortunately it was asked at the last chapter of Eureka. And they basically said that it's too late now, like we're moved on to 5.0. But it's something they're considering for the new iteration of Eureka for 5.0, and basically soft confirming a Eureka.
More Eureka.
If you make the same mistake again, I'm gonna fucking crush your knees.
I am sure.
I swear to God.
I think maybe now they've all the feedback has been gathered from all the different versions of Eureka. They've literally tried everything in Eureka now. Pick the best parts from every single part,
please,
and just ignore Pagos, because there's nothing to pick from there.
Pagos, but extreme.
I don't think the concept of Eureka is bad at all. I hate the current Eureka we have now. I hate it with a burning passion. But that system can work fine, right? Like, they can just make it good, please. Just make it not bad.
Yeah. So at least if we get the new version of Eureka, we can actually get party level sync, which I feel like we should have gotten from Animos, but
should have been a lot of stuff in Animos, if you ask me.
Yeah. So someone asked, would it be possible to have Byaku's free falling as a gold saucer game? It's a perfect mini game to put on gold saucer. Yeah. And they said that they're working on the next gate already. We hope you have it for you for 5.0's launch, but it might take some time. Do you still want it? Do you still want it to go? What? Do you still want to fail and go splat? Even if you win, you die. Yeah, because you're falling, right? So you're going to.
There's something in the ground. That's how much MGP it gives me.
Yeah,
I'll splat for any price.
He didn't confirm or deny this, but he probably wrote that down, because that's a good idea, in my opinion.
It is a good idea.
They are working on another new Gold Saucer mini game that said it's going to come with 5.0.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
The weirdest question was then asked. With war erupting, will we see Nanamo fight?
Yeah.
Which is an absurd question. Why the fuck would she?
I guess... I don't know if they were asking for her as a trust NPC or for her to
the word was thrown around, trust NPC. I think it was part of the question now with trust NPCs or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's kind of weird because I don't think she won't fight. She's the sovereign.
I don't think she has a class.
She doesn't have a class. She's a sultana. She has an army. She has an army.
Have Raubon hang around her or something.
Yeah, but Raubon isn't he's Alamigan now.
Oh, that's right.
So
Lolorito.
Yeah. Which, again, why is
Not
Lolorito still around? He should have been put in the
That
dungeons.
story is still unresolved, and that's like a big mark for 14, if you ask me.
Yeah.
That's a.
I mean, he
big shame.
technically almost conspired to commit regicide himself. He's the villain. He was part of the plan. Even though he didn't kill her because sleeping, whatever he did is still illegal. If I fucking went to like a king and gave him something that looked like poison, I was like, no.
She never got to abdicate the throne either. That's what she wanted.
And I'll be like, haha, you think I committed regicide, but look at this. And then he's like groggily wakes up. It was just a sleeping potion. I would still be thrown in the fucking dungeons. What the fuck? It's such a weird.
Just a prank, bro. Just a prank.
Just a prank. Anyways, his answer to the Nanamo fight thing is the Sultana would rather the Sultana would rather fight with Raban. Let me ask this: if an enemy is targeting Nanamo and she runs towards you, would you take the damage for her? Would you protect her, or would you run away? Like you said, unlike with Tataru, you wouldn't run away, right? We'll think about it.
I'd kick her like a fucking football.
How fucking...
Sorry, American football.
Oh yeah, that made it better. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Ronnie.
Do we get a new ultimate in Shadowbringers? Someone asked. Of course, we're in the process of deciding what the battle will be and who will handle it. Who do you think it'll be? Warring Triad and Kefka?
Yeah.
That would be nice.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, Warring Triad. That makes sense.
Yeah. That would be cool. Will we be able to use minions or eggies as housing items? There was some confusion with this at first because they kept saying the magic brooms, like broom eggy. Or we're like, broom eggy. If it's just placing them, it's possible, but if we wanted it to move, we'd have a look into collision, so that's obviously a problem. We've seen lots of great homes in 14, and to have a system for moving minions would require a lot of testing. I can't go into too much detail, but we're thinking of a new minion content. So this was interesting, and you just brushed over it. We're thinking of new minion content, like a farm. So we already know that a farming system is coming, right? Because they talked about this, like farming. Remember when they in the same breath as the Ishgard rebuilding thing. There's new stuff coming for Disciple of Hand and Land. Maybe this ties into that. It's only in the planning phase, not as 5.0. So it's not going to come at launch, but it's an intriguing idea. I don't quite understand what it is, but it's interesting.
I'd be down for minions to do something else other than just follow me.
Yeah.
Ishgard farm. I'm going to put him to work on the farm.
Yeah. Deep Dungeon in Shadowbringers. Oh wait, I skipped one. What's your favorite trial and dungeon? So his favorite is Titan Extreme. Even at high level, it's lots of fun. It's true. Titan is sort of held up because of how it's designed. So if you do Titan Extreme now, you might still view that as a challenge because, it's a shrinking arena. There's lots of pushback attacks and stuff. Swallow's Compass in 4.3 is a dungeon I really liked. It has a lot of new and fresh mechanics that younger staff worked on. I also really like the Gimlet Dark. That was created by the more veteran designers. So Shadowbringers is going to bring a very interesting dungeon. I was very surprised when checking it. Please look forward to it.
Well,
the
play Mahjong in the dungeon.
Yeah.
The boss will challenge you.
It's the unlock dungeon for male Viera.
Yeah.
You enter like a harem of just male Vieras, and you have to like release them from their prison because the females have locked them in. And
they're doing like sexy poses in the meantime.
Yeah. And they're all wet. They're all like
they're all sweaty too.
Yeah. Deep Dungeon in Shadowbringers. Maybe. We've done it twice before, so we will probably bring a third version, but we haven't decided when. After FanFest, I'm going back to decide on future content, and it will probably be decided then.
Hope to change it up with Deep Dungeon.
Yeah, I hope so don't. Heaven on High was a bit.
Yeah, it's a bit meh. Everyone's forgotten about it now.
Yeah. I mean, I liked it, but it's like
too similar.
It's too similar.
Yeah. What mount can we expect to get from the Pixies tribe? And he almost choked when someone asked this question.
Yeah.
Because he was like, will there even be Beast Tribe quest with the Pixies? Probably. But what mount? Pixie wings? Maybe too early. We'll think of something good. I believe he said butterfly something like riding a butterfly or whatever.
A big
That would be
butterfly
nice.
would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'd like that.
That would be cool. Can we have Yotsu's outfit and hair? And he left. And he's like, and he's just like,
left again.
and he said he basically showed why not, because she's not technically designed for combat. Her outfit.
Yeah.
She's not made to. Yeah, mostly the sleeves. There's like droopy long ones.
And like the wide stance too that you have.
Yeah.
When you have your weapon out.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just, the dress would like stretch all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ow! I hit my finger again.
Yeah.
Ow.
How? Okay. It was really difficult to create for Yotsu. The gear was made for her pose specifically, like the one she does. We figured it would be asked, so we might try. But as for the hair, it's too straight and it would clip with gear. He said it would clip through the body just immediately because it's just so long. They asked for the high five emote from the dungeon. He did not. It did not instir a lot of. I don't think he told us what the issue would be, because there are different heights for different races, and the races have different height sliders. Like the way it would almost be impossible for them to like make that emote work.
If they do it, my prediction would be that it's a Mark Station 1.
Yeah, for sure.
With how much work has to go into it, if they're gonna interact with each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope it animation locks you so I can just spam it on people. And...
He specifically said we'd have to create a new system for it. So, I mean, that's a lot of work.
Maybe like you press it and then you get a little interact icon with your hand or something, and you get locked in.
Yeah.
God, that would be awful.
I'm not going to go into this question because it was so absurd. They said, what's the funniest story from your dev team? And he did a fucking role play about like when he worked as a game dev at age 20, basically ending on a sinister note where it almost sounded like he killed him. And that's when we made the lore. Mala made the lore. That's when he killed his first victim and he put on the ring. He takes the ring from each victim. So that's why he's got so many rings. It's the rings of his victims. I like that lore. That's canon lore. He also he threw some shade. It was just a weird he just needed to get that off.
Finish the manga. It's like whoa there, boy.
It was really funny. You guys should
It was
see
quite
it.
funny.
I don't think we should recap it right now.
No, it's too long. But he then talked. Someone asked, "What's the reasoning behind mechanics like starboard and larboard?"
Oh, poor Koji.
Oh, Koji got uncomfortable here. And he actually did get flack for this internally.
Really?
So Koji says, when we got the original Japanese, it used kanji for starboard and port. Most English people don't know these terms, though. I wanted to make it easier, but still relevant. The older word for port was larboard, and because it begins with L, and larboard is left, they'll get it, right? When the content came out, Yoshida summoned me to his room. I had to explain, and he also not only Yoshida, the whole battle team was there, and they were all like, they were like, "What is this? What is this feedback we're getting now?" I had to explain why a lot of players were suddenly talking about on the forums. We have a system now where the battle team, so basically they use that as a learning experience, because he realized that is an attack that requires immediate understanding of where to go, and in kanji that's easier because it's in the symbol. It says left in the symbol and right in the other one. But our Latin alphabet is a little limited in that sense because we need to register the word, and if it's larboard in a panicked state or like in a stressful situation, you won't necessarily make that connection.
You're looking for one letter difference, basically.
Yeah.
But they both end in R board.
Yes.
Yeah, and but that's weird to me because Temple of the Fist came out before, and you remember the second boss it was just port and starboard.
Yeah.
And I mean, people messed up at first, but they learned it pretty quickly.
But it's easier because you can then remember that port is a completely different word, and starboard is right. So when you see another word that's like port, it's a short.
I don't understand why he changed it though when we already had it,
because that was an established set of moves. So he could have used port, and this probably would have been a problem.
It's weird. It was weird,
but I think he just wanted to help with split-second decision. I mean, if you get hit by larboard cannon, you're basically dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get a fucking vulnerability debuff, so if you miss the thunder one, you're dead.
And he spins around during it as well, so it's quite tricky.
Yeah. So now they have a system in place, because you then realize that it is important that we Westerners understand as well immediately, the same way the Japanese do with their kanji. So that's why I think in the Orbon Monastery, the mech has an attack that's called just left handgun and right handgun. So that's probably a result of that.
You just need to be able to identify it quickly. And
it's like left space handgun. So left is like literally its own word, so you see it immediately. And that, I guess, that was that, huh? That was the Q&A.
Yeah.
Then there was the PvP thing.
What PvP thing?
The Feast Grand Finals.
Exactly.
Did you watch it, Ronnie? Didn't you tune in?
I did. Okay, listen. Last night I was out of my mind, so
yeah.
Some things are a blur.
Yeah. I think
Most
that was
of your walls, by the looks of things.
Your walls are a blur, Rollo.
Yeah. It's my life.
What was I thinking about? Okay, I think that was the whole. That is the Q&A. What do you think about the FanFest then? In as a whole, did it get your hype gears going higher, or are you at the same level as before?
I was still riding pretty high from the last FanFest. This bumped me up just a bit. Not as much as, well, actually, I'm lying. That near thing, that specifically, I'm at 10 because of that.
Yeah.
But everything else, I'm like, yeah, cool. Show me more.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel that
excited.
NA was so big. This one was kind of just like a bridging one.
Yeah, it was. I think it was a bit weird. The pacing was weird here as well. The NA one has struggled with the pacing as well, because they had like panels that were like fucking like watching paint dry.
Oh god, why did we watch that one live?
It feels like JP FanFest will be the one that's like, okay, this is real now, because they're gonna play all the cards that they've been saving up. Like, here they are. This is everything.
Yeah.
And they'll probably show off the benchmark. They usually do that at FanFest, right? Show off the benchmark there.
Yeah, they might do that actually. Yeah, I'm not sure. Oh, yeah, they might.
So that like a flyby, that'll give me hype.
Yeah.
New trailer too.
Yeah.
Didn't add too much in this trailer. It was like 2 little bits.
Yeah, the 2 bits that just were more confusing than anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's.
But he didn't tease anything for the future. No shirt or anything.
That was disappointing.
We can't speculate.
They haven't. It's weird because they want us to speculate, but they didn't give us anything. Well, there's Male Vieira. Is that what we're supposed to speculate about? That's a bit weird. But yeah,
doesn't matter either way.
Yeah. So now it's just kind of like, sure, I'm gonna wait.
Yeah.
I'm gonna wait.
Yeah.
Still excited, but I'm just gonna wait.
Yeah. There were some people that were like, "Oh, it's got like Dance Dance Revolution arrows on the floor. Dancer confirmed." Those are just stage markers to show him where to stand.
He knows. He worked and he studied. Cinema.
Yeah.
He knows.
I don't think that's anything. But it's weird because that's maybe they just went. You know what? This year, everyone knows they're getting the Gunblade job. But no one knows for sure what the second job's gonna be. Let's not give them anything to go on. And that's what they've done.
Be good. Yeah.
We might get. I feel like we might get 2 other jobs. Is the thing.
2?
I know that.
I see what you mean, Ronnie.
Because they're saying multiple, and I know like 2 was still multiple.
Yeah.
But that's still like
tank and healer only.
I believe they used multiple new jobs for Stormblood though.
Did they?
Did. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Never mind then.
Yeah.
We'll probably get one job.
You never know.
I don't think we should get our hopes up too much. I mean, the JP's FanFest isn't going to be that spectacular. It's going to be spectacular, but if you're expecting 2 more jobs, I think it's going to be a bit too.
Better be a healer.
I'm expecting, but
don't give DPS anything.
Yeah.
They had enough.
We have got enough.
We have had enough now. We need a healer. It'll be sad if they add another tank, one tank, and then they just add another DPS.
Yeah,
it's tank and healer sort of belong together. So if you add a tank, add a healer as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, Yeah, and it's probably going to be the last tank and healer to be added to the game.
Don't say that.
I mean, they said that it's the hardest class to add to a game, or sorry, a role, because most people want to play DPS, and it's not adding another tank doesn't mean that we're going to get more tanks. It just means that a lot of tanks are going to switch temporarily to Gunblade, and then some new players are going to play Gunbreaker, and then maybe they'll just 80% of tanks are going to slide over into DPS.
Well, I mean, now that we're getting trust NPCs, which I'm not sure if they're going to be able to go through old dungeons. They weren't not clear about that. Maybe that'll help with people's tank anxiety and healer anxiety. Maybe people just hey, I can practice with NPCs.
Yeah,
basic.
Maybe we'll see.
Yeah, you can practice with your squadron.
You can, that's true. It's. I mean, I'm hyped at least. It's. Even if I kind of like that we don't know the second.
Yeah,
job,
no way. Yeah,
because we have. I'm sure at some point he's going to. I cannot. I have a hard time believing that we're going to go into the second FanFest and not have a single clue. Surely at some point he's going to slip something in an interview. I think it's weird going completely blank into, because he'd want to build some hype for a possible reveal of the second job, right? Because people were fucking shitting the bed when he announced what's the other job that came in Stormblood? Not Samurai, but the other one.
Red Mage.
Red Mage. Because everyone had been talking about Red Mage for so long, and then there it is, and he wore that T-shirt with the what was it, the Scarlet Witch, and didn't lessen the reveal. It's like what the fuck are we hyping for?
Yeah, we can have a blind one. Why not?
It'll be interesting though if we get a blind one. I'm not saying that.
I mean, Stormblood going into it, I kind of didn't like most of the reveals, because it had been planned so far in advance. We sort of knew it. Yeah. It was the author that actually made me think, wow, that's pretty cool. That's new. Yeah. That made me excited. So yeah.
What are we gonna get after Dancer? By the way, we've kind of hit all the staples for the most part.
Getting unique stuff, I guess. Maybe the limited job.
They did
Beastmaster's there.
Yeah. Because they did say they wanted to make a 14 job at some point, maybe, but it was easier to just pull. Yeah, Gunbreaker, but it's still Squall. If you know,
it is, but it's still but that's not a job in Final Fantasy. That's just a weapon type someone had.
It's true.
And just for that one game.
Yeah, true.
Made it our own thing.
Yeah. I don't know. It's gonna be weird because now you're talking about fucking 6.0.
Yeah, who knows what's gonna happen?
We don't have to think about that yet. I'm excited. I think with that, I don't think there's any point in reading Mogmail right now, because now we're on the FanFest things, and so bringing up Mogmail now would be a bit off topic. I think
next time we'll have.
Yeah, we'll do. The next episode will be a normal one. We're returning to normal again now for a few weeks.
All right.
So we'll be able to do our normal stuff. We'll maybe even see our edited minimum eye level, and everything will be fine.
Oh man, been forever since one of those. Do I make a reference to how long you might take to edit it?
Thank you guys for watching. Remember to follow us on Twitter at SpeakersXIV, twitch.tv/SpeakersOfIreland, youtube.com/SpeakersXIV, exclamation Discord in chat if you want to join our Discord server. It's full of very cool and beautiful people.
Are we doing a post show, by the way?
Not doing a post show. No post show.
Okay.
This
Not
is the
today.
end.
No post show.
No post show today.
Send us Mogmail.
SpeakersXIV.com/Mogmail. Bye.
Goodbye.